teams that is the most noticeable difference from when you were a player doing your two-a-days once upon a time?
I would say that was just playing on the pizza thing. Don't
hey, we
do
love
that,
pizza, though, so.
Not mad at it.
Yeah, we love pizza. But I would say that I think the biggest thing is that they don't hit as much. They don't tackle as much. That's why you see there's a lot of sloppy tackling. There's a lot of missed tackles. But I also think, and I don't know what it is, I'm no sports scientist or strength and conditioning coach. I feel like that, nowadays, the game does take care of you physically, right? So you're not pounding as much. You're not running as much. So you're not, getting some of those soft tissue injuries that you see George Kittle have. I think, when you look at Christian McCaffrey, he's got the calf injury. So some of those things that, those injuries come when you're physically tired because you've been running a lot, but you're still trying to push yourself 100 miles an hour. And in today's game, they don't do that as much. So, I would think that it would help you, but maybe all of that stuff that we did back in the day, and this is, people would say all that hitting and pounding and pushing yourself through, maybe that helped you from getting hurt. I don't know, but I would think, I tell you what, if I could go back and play, I would much rather play in today's era than in the era I played in, just because of all the hit and banging that we had to do that you don't have to do as much now.
Yeah, no, getting tackled or tackling in practice is not as fun as the games. Jermaine, you mentioned a little while ago that, Mac doesn't really have the mobility that, you see in a lot of quarterbacks these days. One of Brock Purdy's greatest attributes is his ability to use his legs when a play breaks down, to extend it, make a play downfield. 49ers offensive line, it's a little shaky right now. If the 49ers offensive line can't really protect Mac on Sunday, and Mac does have to use his legs, what's that game going to start to look like for the 49ers in that situation?
I'm going to say this. There'll be a lot of people in the Bay Area that will be throwing their remotes at their television because, Mac is, listen, he can't move back there. When he runs, it looks like he's dragging a piano behind his back. So there'll be a lot of mad 49er fans in that Bay Area throwing their remotes at the television because he just doesn't have that. Not only is he not athletic enough to kind of get out of stuff, you got to have a good pocket presence, and he just doesn't have that. So, you put those two things together, and he basically becomes a statue back there. And, you could tee off on guys like that. But, I guess luckily the 49ers are playing New Orleans. So, you got a game that you can – I know it's in New Orleans, but you got a game that you should be able to win. But it's really about Kyle Shanahan. Now, when's he going to – I guess I would ask the question for all the 49er people out there. When is he going to get over that hump? Everybody talks about him being a great coach. But when do you get over that hump and show that you can actually win a championship?
I mean, he's gotten close, Jermaine. I mean, he just ran into one of the greatest.
He's got only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades.
Yeah, but I hear you. But he's never had the best quarterback in those matchups, right? He's never had best quarterback. I mean, Andy Reid's Hall of Famer, and so is Patrick Mahomes. Sometimes it happens.
But you brought up the talent, though. You brought up the McCaffreys. You brought up the George Kittle. Listen, Nick Bosa. I guess the question becomes, and I know if I know as a fan, I don't want to hear we got close. We're either there winning, and if we get there and lose, maybe it's different because we come from, I know it's been a long time, the city of champions, but we celebrate winning championships.
Guys just lost to Geno Smith. Relax, okay? Let's take a step back here. Come on. Drake May, the next gift from God. Come on.
Yeah.
Well, life's a lot easier when you got the GOAT slinging passes for you back in the day, too. Jermaine, it's...
That's my point, though. That's the thing. We're is Drake May even the guy around here? We're questioning that. So I guess that's all I'm saying is, if you're a fan, you got to get to the point where it's all right, it's time to either ish or get off the pot. And with Shanahan, you've had a lot of talent, and I know it have to be. I'm frustrated here in New England, and I know we're nowhere near close to being where we need to be.
Talking with Jermaine Wiggins here, Greg Hill Show on WEI Boston for Patriot. All right, all this negativity. What's the good with Mac Jones? What does Mac Jones do? Well, he's got an arm, right? I saw him at Bama. He could sling it.
Yeah, I think Bama's a little different, though. I mean,
I know.
When you're playing against, when you're Bama in the SEC and your team's loaded with Devontae Smith and, think about all the talented players
Judy,
that Bama
Jacobs,
has had. Yeah, I mean, Derrick Henry, I know he didn't play with him, but just think about all the talent. I mean, look at all the Bama quarterbacks that slung the football around, but when they get to the NFL, it's just a different breed because you're going to have to be in a position where, okay, can you go out there and can you make good decisions? Can you be able to deal with whatever adversity comes? And that's why I think, and I'll give Shanahan credit. I ain't gonna knock him, right? I mean, he was able to get to a Super Bowl with Jimmy Garoppolo. He was able to basically get Brock Purdy paid. So now you're gonna really see, can you do it with a kid like Mac Jones? I think it's difficult because he didn't show much here in New England other than his rookie year. But Shanahan has proven that he could, make something out of nothing when you talk about quarterbacks and you talk about offense.
Jermaine, I got there's a lot of fans out here who are optimistic that Mac's actually going to be under center, but I'm kind of curious when it comes to the drop off from Brock Purdy to Mac Jones. How big of a drop off do you think it is?
I would say, and listen, I don't know much about Brock Purdy. I've seen him play and whatever, and I'm still a little bit skeptical. Is he worth that type of money? But I would say it's a massive drop off, right? Because if you look at the success, and you can't knock the kid Brock Purdy. You look at the success that he's had, and now you look at Mac Jones, and you're going from Brock Purdy to Mac Jones. It's a major drop off. So I mean, I understand the being optimistic and having that because of Shanahan, but here you're getting a guy that hasn't really shown much success in the NFL. And if you're a team like San Francisco, like in New England, our expectations are low. Like we're like, if we can win 7 or 8 games, maybe 9, great. But I know out there in Frisco, I know you guys are out there looking at it like, shoot, we're expecting big things. So it's going to be interesting to see how Shanahan is able to get things going with Mac Jones at quarterback.
It's funny you say that, Jermaine. We appreciate your time this morning. Actually, it was Niner fans are very down heading into this season. They were saying if we could win 10 games and sneak into the playoffs, that would be great. So stock right now in the Niners kind of down, but if they could win this week, if they can step up with Brock Purdy being down, I think that would boost their confidence for sure. Hey, Jermaine, great stuff this morning. We really appreciate it, man, and good luck the rest of the way.
All right. Anytime, fellas.
Thanks, Jermaine.
Jermaine Wiggins, Greg Hill Show, WEI in Boston, former Patriots tight end. I couldn't let him, poo-poo our guy Kyle Shanahan like that. They would kill in Boston for a guy like Kyle Shanahan.
Like Niner fans poo-poo Kyle Shanahan that way all the time. Why can't he do it?
He seems to think that the expectations are massive this year, and that's why I was like, it's not that. It's not Super Bowl or bust. That's not how fans are viewing it this season. I think it was more of a frustration, and I am kind of glad he kind of talked about it as a former player, Sam. He's like, yeah, it might just be unlucky. It's not like George Kittle, the hamstring, that soft tissue, Christian McCaffrey, same thing. But I do think it's just a frustration overall from the fan base of not getting it done. That's why we point the finger, right?
Yeah, well, there has to be a reason for everything. And when the Niners don't win, it's because Kyle Shanahan is doing X, Y, Z to get players not prepared or scheming guys wrong or he's tightening up or he's getting guys injured. There always has to be a boogeyman, even if we have to create one on our own. And I thought it was interesting, in regards to the practice differences where, Jermaine talks about how back in the day they were hitting more, the practices were longer, yet there weren't as many injuries. And it's almost like, when you have the intensity in the practice, the games become easier. The practices are supposed to be harder than the games. That's how it's always supposed to be. And that's what makes the games, doable for these players. And I do kind of wonder if in this new age of the NFL where there's all these new rules over how long you can practice, how intense you can practice, how much you can hit in practice. I do kind of, it's easy to think just the lack of intensity in practice. Does that make the games maybe harder than the practices? And that's kind of what leads to some of these injuries. That's just the theory. I'm not stating that as a fact, but based off what Jermaine is saying, that and the fact that everyone's too chiseled, I thought that was an interesting take too. But I don't think that's that crazy of a thought either, because when you're that muscular, when you're that built as some of these guys are, ligaments still stay the same. Muscles will get bigger. Ligaments are forever, though, until they're not. Those don't get bigger. That's why you have to keep them stretched out and loose, because if these ligaments can only handle so much power. And if you overdo them, they're going to give out. That's just the simple fact of it.
Another thing he said there was fascinating for me, and I wonder where Niner fans are at on this. 888-957-9570. Same number to call or text, the Boxer and Gerson Work Injury Attorneys text line. He said the drop-off from Purdy to Mac Jones is massive.
And that's on a quarterback, Brock Purdy, who he's already not very high on.
He said it's a massive drop-off from Purdy to Jones. And I got to disagree with my guy. I got to disagree with the Super Bowl champion, a guy that played in the NFL, Jermaine Wiggins. I do not think the drop-off from Brock Purdy to Mac Jones is massive. Is there a gap? Yes. How significant is that gap? Niner fans, I'd like to ask you that right now. 888-957-9570. The gap from Purdy to Jones, significant, small, what say you? Oreo Cookie, Oakland, joining the conversation now. What's up, Oreo?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? Happy Friday. You guys sound great this morning. But as far as Mac Jones go, guys, we got to go with what we know, and that's Kyle Shanahan, and that's Saleh, our defensive coordinator. Those guys are going to keep us in the game. What we need for Mac Jones is to not drop the ball, be a game manager, same as Purdy. I don't think it's much of a drop-off. Mac Jones definitely has some skills. He's a first-rounder. So with Kyle, he's the quarterback whisperer, so I think he can get it done. And before I go, I do want to say 281-330-8004, Mac Jones. Who?
Love that. Who? We got to come back with that, like, at some point today.
That's
maybe
why,
to the crossover we do that.
Ooh, I like that.
Mike Jones, Mac Jones, again.
He asked me to cut it prior to getting on the phone. I love the guy.
That is why Oreo Cookie is one of our elite roasters.
By the way, that song's going to be bumping in the locker room if they win, and Mac Jones looks good on Sunday. I'm just letting you know. They're absolutely bumping that. 888-957-9570. Jermaine Wiggins saying the drop-off from Brock Purdy to Mac Jones is massive. Do you agree, disagree? How big of a drop-off is it from a quarterback perspective there? No Kittle, potentially no Juwan. Kendrick Bourne, he's back. He's got a repertoire with Mac Jones. He's obviously familiar with Shanahan's system. He started his career here. You got Christian McCaffrey. You got Brian Robinson. You have some pieces. And how is that offensive line going to look this Sunday? It's all coming down to the quarterback, of course. But I'll say this. If you have a defensive performance like you had last week in Seattle, you're winning this game.
Oh, you're set. Yeah.
You're good.
We haven't even talked about the defense.
Like Robert Saleh.
He might be more important
13 points, Sam. That's all he allowed. 13.
He might be more important than Mac Jones this week. You talk about the drop-off here. Listen, I like what Mia O'Brien said yesterday, that Mac Jones is every quarterback that has had success in Kyle Shanahan's system. I do agree with that. I do think that Mac Jones can hit the necessities of running the Kyle Shanahan offense. Is it crazy to say that he could probably win in the same way that Jimmy Garoppolo was able to win with this team? I think that Mac is probably more closer to a Jimmy type than a Brock type.
I think that's fair.
Because Brock, for whatever people want to say on how limited he is as a quarterback, blah, 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 I'm not here for that stuff. Brock can make plays when he needs to. Like, when he has to kind of, improvise on the spot, use his legs a little bit, get creative, use his mind. Brock is very, very good at doing that. I do think Mac Jones can make the throws that Kyle Shanahan wants him to make. He can run the plays that Kyle Shanahan wants him to run. We have Greg Cosell's kind of talk about how, if you could just scheme the receiver to be open where he needs to be, if you can get Ricky Pearsall to be open where he needs to be, Mac will hit him in stride and, operate this offense correctly. The drop-off, I think it's going to come from those moments where if the play does start to break down, if you do kind of have to go outside of what the play was intended and kind of improvise a little bit, That's where I think the drop-off is going to be the most noticeable. And that's why I asked Jermaine Wiggins about the offensive line. If the offensive line is struggling to protect Mac, I think we might be in for a rough day for this 49ers offense, because if he has to be the guy kind of running around using his legs and making plays on his own to make this offense go, that might not be a recipe for success. But if the defense is controlling the game, if the running game for the 49ers is chewing up the Saints defense, and if the offensive line creates a situation where Mac doesn't have to go crazy making plays, then yeah, it's going to be easy peasy lemon squeezy on Sunday.
I do think the defense is going to set the offense up a lot in this game, and that's going to make it a lot easier for Mac Jones. 888-957-9570 is the number. How big of a drop-off is it from Purdy to Jones? We'll get into your calls on the other side. Brendan in the city, I see you. Same number to call or text the Boxer and Gerson Work Injury Attorneys text line. And that leads us to the injury report. All right, so we know about George Kittle and Brock Purdy. They're not going to be suited up this Sunday. What about Juwan Jennings? Juwan has not practiced this week as he deals with a shoulder injury, but the 49ers have not made an official decision yet regarding his status for Sunday, currently listed as questionable on the 49ers injury report. The injury report was brought to you by Boxer & Gerson, Northern California's premier workers' compensation law firm, helping injured workers get their lives back for over 40 years. And what's coming up with the game is brought to you by Fremont Bank, here for you, here for good, halfway home here on a payday Friday. Speak now or forever hold your peace on the Niners-Saints matchup this Sunday, 10 o'clock. We've got former quarterback for the Saints and currently their pre- and post-game host on the radio network down in New Orleans, WWL 105.3, Bobby A. Bear, the Cajun Cannon, joining us at 8:30. Plus, we've got crossover, the first iteration of the Friday crossover with Steiny and Goo coming up at 9:48. All of that, but more importantly, your calls next. The drop-off from Purdy to Jones is what, Niner fans, on 95.7 The Game.
Dan Daly, the administrator of Lawton Skilled Nursing and Rehabilitation Center, thanks his staff for earning Newsweek's top Bay Area facility recognition. Lawton, in San Francisco's Sunset District, provides top-tier therapies and partners with UCSF Medical Center. With a 5-star rating and Dr. Darby Clayson as medical director, it's also listed among the best by U.S. News. For skilled nursing, call Dan Daly at 415-566-1200. That's 415-566-1200.
Come into Freeman's Appliance in Pleasant Hill, September 26th through the 28th for their fall clearance sales event. Take advantage of one-of-a-kind opportunities at the Freeman's Appliance Fall Clearance Sales Event for the best time to save on new appliances for your home.
Comcast Business High Five Hotline. What's the state of your excitement?
I signed my business up for the 5-year price lock guarantee, and I can't stop high-fiving people. High five!
Okay,
Oh,
deep
high
breath.
Five, high five.
You're in a good place. You signed your business up for 5 years of gig speed internet and advanced security, all on our ultra-reliable network.
Gig speeds and advanced security? I'm so stoked.
Yep, and you get it at a great rate that's locked in for 5 years.
Woo!
The high five is just your body's way of saying, I'm winning.
So this is natural.
High-fiving everyone you see in a state of business savings enthusiasm, totally natural.
Sweet. Thank you. Thank you. High five, everybody. High five.
The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee is back, but only for a limited time, so sign your business up today.
High five.
Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 9/21/25 for new customers with qualifying bundle. Current customers may be eligible depending on services and area. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
Own a home built before 1980? Is it on a poured foundation? You may be eligible for a grant up to $3,000 to strengthen your home against earthquake damage. Consider bolting your house to its foundation or bracing crawl space walls to help protect your investment and keep your family safe. Register between August 20th and October 1st at earthquakebracebolt.com. Visit today to learn more and secure your grant. Brought to you by the California Residential Mitigation Program.
Let's go.
You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Do you often worry you left the garage door open? With a LiftMaster garage door opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage from your smartphone anytime, from anywhere through the MyQ app. As an authorized LiftMaster dealer, Ace's Garage Door Repair and Installation has smart openers designed for your needs, including belt drive motors for ultra-quiet operation, integrated camera for live video, streaming, and battery backup to let you in when the power is out. Trust Ace's Garage Door Repair and Installation for top-notch service and unbeatable reliability. Whether you need a quick fix, a complete replacement, or a brand new installation for your garage door or garage door opener, our skilled technicians are here to get the job done right. With competitive prices, a commitment to quality, and diamond certification, Aces has you covered. Call today at 855-588-2237 or visit acegd.com. That's acegd.com. Aces Garage Door Repair and Installation, where your garage door is our priority.
Jack here. My bonus Jack combo starting at $4.49 comes with fries, a drink, and a burger with 1, 2, or 3 patties. It's a meal that'll actually make you happy. Starting at $4.49. Get so much more.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
Plus tax, limited time only. Price and participation may vary.
At Big O Tires, now through September 28th, get $40 to $60 in rebate savings on sets of 4 Michelin tires. Plus, Big O Tires will match up to $60 in instant savings. Installation required, disposal fees extra, not good with other offers. See Big O dealer for details.
Oh, no.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
my debit card.
Their debit card.
Where'd I leave that thing?
Not at the gas pump, or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my card.
Yep, just a few tippy taps on his phone, and that sound, that's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
My ride smells just right, just right, just right, just right.
I gotta try that Febreze car.
Just right, just right, just right. La 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 la. With up to 40 days of consistency. All over Febreze car clips right on your vent. You know my car's my happy place. Keep a smile on my face. When it smells just right, just right, just right. Yeah. Breathe happy Febreze. La 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 la.
Another app for inventory, one for CRM. Oh, don't forget accounting. Wait, which login was that?
Or you could use Odoo, one fully integrated system that does it all without the hassle. Ditch the app overload. Get everything your business needs on one platform. Try Odoo free today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
The John Deere Gator XUV lets you cut, pack, drive, scout, weld, stack, feed, pull, load, tow, spray, and haul, all in a single day. Because with the highest cargo box volume in its class, customizable features, and a towing capacity of up to 4,000 pounds, it gets the job done. You just have to get in the seat. Learn more at your John Deere dealer or visit johndeere.com/Gator XUV.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ-FM and HD1 San Francisco on Odyssey Sports Station and the home of the Golden State Warriors and Valkyries. Always live on the free Odyssey app and now coming to you live from the Laughing Monk Studios.
Rise.
Wake up. It's time to wake on up.
Wake up, wake up.
With a nice cup of Joe.
What's up, Joe, bro?
Featuring Joe Spadoni.
He's an Italian.
And Joe, the Butcher Boy Shasky.
I am slippery.
Oh! The best part of waking up is morning roast in your cup.
It is the morning roast, man, on 95.7 The Game.
Oh, we're rock and rolling, baby, here on a payday Friday on the Morning Roast. Joe Spadoni alongside Sam Loveman, who's filling in for Shasky. And we just had Jermaine Wiggins on. Who is Jermaine Wiggins? Well, former NFL tight end, played for the New England Patriots, host over with the Greg Hill Show, WEEI in Boston. And he just had some things to say about one Mac Jones, who, again, is starting this Sunday in New Orleans in place of the injured Brock Purdy. And he said the drop-off from Purdy to Jones was, quote, massive, end quote. Is it that big of a gap, Niner fans? What say you? 888-957-9570. That's the number to call or text. the Boxer and Gerson Work Injury Attorneys text line. We got Bobby Hebert coming up at 8:30, former Saints quarterback and pre- and post-game host for the Saints Radio Network on 105.3 WWL in New Orleans. The Cajun Cannon, Bobby Hebert, in about 25 minutes, Sammy. But yeah, we're just talking about the quarterback because it's a quarterback-driven league. But maybe we should be talking about the defense a little bit more because they held their division rival, Seattle Seahawks, to 13 points last week in Seattle. What are they going to do against Spencer Rattler in the New Orleans Saints at the Superdome, who we all think is probably going to be a lesser offense than what Seattle has? Like, hell, I'm expecting a sub 20-point performance again from this defense.
Yeah, I mean, well, what do you think is the bigger drop-off? Brock Purdy to Mac Jones or Sam Darnold to Spencer Rattler? I've never been a Spencer Rattler believer. I mean, sure, yeah, he had some good moments at Oklahoma and at South Carolina. Here's how I know. So for those who don't know, Sterling Bennett, who does the Niners post-game show with Mark Grandy, Overtime with Mark Grandy, is a big Oklahoma fan.
I did not know that.
That's why he always wears that Oklahoma hat. And I had the privilege of being able to work with Sterling when Spencer Rattler was at Oklahoma. And so, I got all of Sterling's, Spencer Rattler Oklahoma takes. And Sterling was never big on Spencer Rattler either. And so I kind of, when the big diehard fans of a team aren't in on a quarterback, then I'm kind of like, you know what? There might be some truth to that there. So I've never been enamored with Rattler, and I see him as he's a placeholder quarterback for the Saints, in that he's the quarterback you throw out there because you're trying to win 3 or 4 games and get a top pick so you can get Garrett Nussmeier out of LSU in the draft next year.
Well, Spencer Rattler, if we all remember, at Oklahoma was benched for an eventual Heisman Trophy winner, Caleb Williams, during his time when Lincoln Riley was still over at Oklahoma. Lincoln obviously went to USC. Caleb Williams followed, wins the Heisman. The rest is history. Number 1 overall draft pick last year. Looked like he was going to get a week 1 win until J.J. McCarthy and the Minnesota Vikings came back on Monday Night Football this past week. So very interesting stuff there. We got, by the way, Ben Johnson. He's got a little reunion this weekend against the Detroit Lions. So a lot of juicy matchups this weekend. Obviously, it started last night with Packers Commanders, who I think everyone at the start of the season would shoehorn into the playoffs at this point. Again, it's so early. No one knows anything about these teams. I will say, though, back-to-back impressive performances from Green Bay. First off, against a still very talented offense with the Detroit Lions, albeit without Ben Johnson. And then against the NFC Championship team of last season, the Darlings, the Cinderella story, the Washington Commanders.
Basically
just shutting them out yesterday. We had
Debo got in the end zone, though. That was pretty cool.
He did on garbage time. Had a couple doinks yesterday, by the way, in that game. Jake Moody? Do you hear that call? Is that Jake Moody's number?
Do you think Debo Samuel would just stand outside the door and refuse to let Jake Moody? I thought we were on Karate Chop watch last night.
What?
When Matt Gay doinked that one off the upright, his second miss. I'm thinking oh man, don't let him get near Debo Samuel. Do you think Debo watched that and he's just like, I literally flew across the country to get away from this nonsense?
Exactly. Shout out Doink the Clown, WWE legend, 888-957-9570. Oh,
There's a clown name. I didn't watch WWE as a kid. There was a clown named Doink.
Look it up as I go to this call. Brendan in the city. I'll get to you in a second. I know Carter's doing a one-man show back there. He's screening. He's playing drops. He's doing everything. He is crushing it back there. Bobby Hebert, the Cajun Cannon, former quarterback for the Saints, joining us about 23 minutes. Get the lay of the land of this Saints team because, again, we're talking about Mac Jones. This probably is the best landing spot for him. If, Purdy had to miss some time, you would want it to be against this team. Let's call it what it is. I know we want to create urgency. We've got to create urgency. Look. I get it. The Saints stink. It's just
this is a team that's trying again.
You gotta beat this.
They're trying. This is a tanking team. They want to be in the top 5 of the draft. No one is anointing Spencer Rattler as their quarterback of the future. No legitimate professional NFL franchise is doing that. Especially Kellen Moore is a first-time head coach. He's not looking at Spencer Rattler. It's that's the guy who I'm gonna start my head coaching career off with. This is a Saints team that wants to be in the top 5 of the draft, so they can get their real quarterback next year and start building up from there.
And by the way, shout out to those watching on YouTube, brought to you by First NorCal Credit Union. For a low rate auto loan, apply online, or just ask for First NorCal financing at the dealer. Coming to you live from the Laughing Monk Studios. Laughing Monk, Ratchley Brewed in San Francisco. The drop-off from Purdy to Jones this week is what? Before I get to Brendan in the city, let's hear what Jermaine Wiggins told us last segment, Sammy, a guy that's covered Mac Jones out in New England. He says the drop-off from Purdy to Jones is massive.
I don't know much about Brock Purdy. I've seen him play and whatever, and I'm still a little bit skeptical. Is he worth that type of money? But I would say it's a massive drop off, right? Because if you look at the success, and you can't knock the kid Brock Purdy. You look at the success that he's had, and now you look at Mac Jones, and you're going from Brock Purdy to Mac Jones. It's a major drop off. So I mean, I understand the being optimistic and having that because of Shanahan. But, here you're getting a guy that hasn't really shown much success in the NFL. And if you're a team like San Francisco, like in New England, our expectations are low. Like we're like, if we can win 7 or 8 games, maybe 9, great. But I know out there in Frisco, I know you guys are out there looking at it like, shoot, we're expecting big things. So it's going to be interesting to see how Shanahan is able to get things going with Mac Jones at quarterback.
All right, and that was Jermaine Wiggins, former NFL tight end host over at WEEI in Boston. So he's saying it's massive. Brendan, the city, you're on the morning roast. Brendan, how big of a gap is it from Purdy to Jones?
It is a significant gap, considering that Mac Jones has a couple extra years in the league and has 13 less wins than Brock Purdy. I know why Shanahan likes Mac Jones. He's the perfect system quarterback to run Kyle's system, but he cannot improvise. I've never heard of a Mac Jones game where he put the game on his back and won them the game, and I can count on multiple hands the times that Brock has done that. It is considerable enough drop-off that thank God for Saints Week, because he's going to get us through it, and we're on to Arizona. But it is enough of a drop-off that we need to be scared if the turf show is going to be sticking around for a lot longer.
All right, so Brendan thinks it's a significant drop-off due to
I don't disagree.
Comebacks. I will say this. Had Mac Jones and Brock Purdy been flipped in their situations, I think it'd be very similar. I think Mac Jones would have success just like Brock Purdy had success. Now, would he have been an MVP candidate like Brock was? Maybe not. But I still think, as you mentioned, I think it was eloquently put, Sam, probably closer to a Jimmy Garoppolo. But Jimmy Garoppolo, once upon a time, flourished in this system. I know we all like to poke fun and say he stinks. The guy was a quarter away from winning a Super Bowl. Yeah. Like, there is something to be said about that. Now, he didn't make the throw to Emmanuel Sanders. I don't know if you win the game, even if you complete that. I think that game was
There's a lot of other moments.
I think that game was honestly more on Shanahan, not just sticking with the run game in that one when it was working with Raheem Mostert. But I'm just, again, I don't think Mac has been put in a great position to succeed after his rookie year. That being said, it's not, I can't put it all on coaching. Some of it has to be on the player. And
no, yeah, I agree.
He makes some boneheaded mistakes. He does.
Something that Brendan said is, that Mac Jones isn't a guy who can just put the team on his back and carry a team. Call him put the team on his back, Jones. And we mentioned, the Jimmy Garoppolo comps. Jimmy, for all of his success with the 49ers, I can think of really one game, and that's the Arizona Cardinals game in 2019. I believe it was on Halloween night where he threw 4 touchdown passes. That might have been the Mexico game. Sorry, get the crud out of my throat.
Yeah,
here.
You got to do that, Sam. What's going on?
Yeah, no one wants to hear that.
Is that your
we're
flu game?
We're all fighting through it this week. But yeah, Jimmy wasn't really the guy who's like, I'm going to put the team on my back and carry him either. And the 49ers still found ways to win in those situations. I mean, is it crazy to say that the 49ers, the way they will win with Mac Jones is going to be very similar to the way that they won with Jimmy Garoppolo? I mean, granted, it's different when you don't have George Kittle out there. It's different when you don't have Brandon Ayuk out there. But just the overall blueprint. Am I crazy to say that the blueprint would look similar to that only because Mac and Jimmy are more similar than Mac and Brock?
I don't think it's that crazy to say. I do think their skill sets are so. I do think Mac does have a better arm, and I do think we forget.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's true.
The mobility factor of this, they're probably closer because Jimmy post ACL, he was kind of a statue back there. But again, both these guys coming from that Patriots offense, and Jimmy learning behind Tom Brady, learning about stepping up in the pocket, staying in the pocket, trying to extend plays there. He took a lot of punishment and took a lot of shots, but the mistake factor of both of them, the boom and bust nature of both of them, I think is what I keep coming back to. That is very similar, and that is something that Brock, I know he threw 2 bad picks last week, but he did make the play that Brennan's talking about, the game-winning play to Jake Tonjes, which Jermaine thought was lucky. I think a lot of people say luck, but I've seen enough magic from Brock in his career to not really say magic anymore. That's just who he is. He makes game-winning plays and puts his skill position players in positions to succeed. That being said, all right, Mac Jones, can he be the reason that they win this game on Sunday? I believe that. With his arm, at times, he can. And let's not act like, it's all Purdy, like, oh, Brock Purdy's had all these amazing comebacks. Kyle Shanahan, if he's losing in the fourth quarter, doesn't matter who the quarterback is. They're almost always losing. Now, they won last week. No, they won last week.
Broke the mold.
They won. They also lost a lot of players, but they won last week. But that was like his first win, and I don't know.
Ever.
It feels like it. The guy doesn't usually win, and I'm going the guy because it's just Kyle Shanahan's tenure here. When they are down 8 in the fourth quarter, they almost never come back. So it really hasn't mattered too much about the quarterback in that scenario, though Brock Purdy broke the trend last week, and it was refreshing to see. It's also refreshing to see SF Bay Drummer on the line, calling from
Love
Houston.
SF Bay Drummer.
H-Town, baby. SF Bay Drummer, what's up, man? You got faith in your boy Mac Jones this weekend?
Yeah. Morning, Sam, and morning, Spadoni. I got faith. I think the defense is actually going to be the biggest part and the biggest story of Sunday. I believe they're going to give Mac Jones, short fields to work with, so he doesn't have to think as much and doesn't have to really drive the ball really down the field. And I expect the defense to give us at least 2 scores. A pick 6 being one of them, and maybe a fumble recovery, because I believe the D-line is going to feast. And also I want to say shout out to Texas Southern University. We didn't win the football game last week versus Cal, but you guys showed up, and the band really showed up, and everybody appreciate them. And then as far as this weekend, Giants, I need you to go to the janitor closet, get a broom, and sweep L.A. That's it. That's all.
There he goes. That's SF Bay Drummer down in H-Town. And this is that is a massive series this weekend. Giants, Dodgers. You got meaningful September baseball. Again, Sunday is loaded, people. Loaded. You better have multiple screens out first and foremost.
I know, triple screening it.
You're gonna have the red zone already on one. You'll have 49ers, Saints. You'll be locked in there. Also at 10 o'clock, you got Valkyries playoffs against the Minnesota Lynx starting. So you got to have another screen there. And then after all that's done, Sammy, all right, the 1 o'clock window, you still got the red zone. Then you got Giants, Dodgers, and it's either going to take the series or for a sweep or to avoid a sweep. I don't know what it's going to look like.
Could be the season. Could be the season.
Could be the season on Sunday. Is it going to be Logan Webb or Robbie Ray Sunday?
So it's Verlander tonight against Yamamoto, and then Kershaw v. Webb tomorrow.
Ooh.
Yeah, that'll be a good one.
That could be the last Kershaw, or is he slated
No, we're
next week?
getting another one next week.
Okay, we are. Okay,
we might get
right.
2 Kershaw starts next week because that's just how it's always lined up for him. And then on Sunday, it's Robbie Ray against Tyler Made of Glass now.
Hey, that's my joke, but that's pretty good. I think everyone makes that joke.
He's like Sunshine if he's about to cry.
No, he looks more like Cillian Murphy.
Ooh, there's a good one, yeah.
He looked kind of like him.
Like a young Cillian Murphy?
Yeah, exactly. He's a lot
not
taller.
the old one that was smoking cigarettes in Oppenheimer.
Yeah, not Oppenheimer, Cillian Murphy. We'll go Red Eye. That's a deep cut for you.
Let me ask you a question about Mac Jones.
Please.
For any backup quarterback, what's the number one thing you ask of any backup quarterback?
Don't make a mistake.
Well, there's that too. I guess the number 2 question then is, can you at least get a split?
Oh, sure.
However many games you need to start, can you at least get a split? Do you think that Mac, we were talking about the drop-off from Brock Purdy to Mac Jones. Is the drop-off narrow enough that we feel that if Mac has to play these next 4 games, let's keep it an even number, do we feel comfortable that he can at least take 2 of them? Because I believe, if you could at least do that as the backup quarterback, I think you've done enough. Is that enough? And do we think that Mac can actually do that?
Yes, I think he can go that. I think he can go 2-0. I think he can, again, Mac Jones as a quarterback in the NFL has taken a team to the playoffs. He is more than capable of doing exactly what Sam Darnold did last year. Now, is it going to look the same? No, but he is more than capable of winning games in the NFL. He's just been dealt a very bad hand when it comes to offensive coordinators. He got the bad Bill Belichick towards the end there. He's gotten the bad Doug Peterson in Jacksonville. He's dealt with a lot more bad in his NFL career than good. Brock Purdy was dealt a good hand when he came into the NFL, and that's what it looks like. Now, he took advantage of it, and rightfully so. And they had to pay Brock Purdy, and good for him. He got paid. Jermaine Wiggins of the world, a lot of people are still skeptical on that, and maybe some Niner fans are still skeptical about it. And that, you know what? That's your prerogative. I'm not skeptical about when he is on the field and competing. I have full faith in Brock Purdy. Now, how long this injury happens and his injury concern, that's another conversation that we're going to monitor all season long and going forward, Sammy. But for this, minimum 2 weeks, because it's 2 to 5 weeks potentially, according to Rappaport, that Purdy's going to be out. I got faith that Mac Jones can either, at the very least, he'll get the split, Sammy. But he could absolutely go 2-0. Yeah. 3-0 he can. He could beat his old team, the Jaguars.
Yeah, and in that situation, when you look at these next 3 games, at the Saints versus the Cardinals versus the Jaguars, that Cardinals game is the only one that worries me. And
divisional,
90% of that worry stems from the fact that the Cardinals took the Niners lunch and ate it in front of them last year. There's the game at the end of the year, which obviously didn't really matter. But yeah, there was that early October game in the 400-degree heat where everything just went to poop in the fourth quarter for the 49ers, and the Cardinals, kind of ripped the joy from the Niners fan base. That was kind of the start of the spiral last year. So that's kind of why I'm giving the Cardinals a little bit more respect right now, only because the recent history is that they did their jobs against the Niners. And, the Niners kind of, I'm not saying this is a big thing to have to prove, but I need to see the Niners beat the Cardinals, I guess, before I believe that they will beat the Cardinals, which, I don't like saying that. I feel like I shouldn't have to say that. I'm sure Niner fans are yelling mean words at me right now through their radios, but that's just the reality of the NFL right now.
Yeah, but see, I think we're also viewing it in this offensive lens, because that's just what we do, is we're an offensive-driven society right now. And then, shout out fantasy football, by the way. My guy, Tucker Kraft, getting me 28 fantasy points yesterday for the Green Bay Packers. By the way, it's all about the defense when it comes to this weekend, next weekend. Like, that's the major difference. We keep forgetting about this. Like, Robert Saleh's back. Nick Bosa's making plays again. We got Fred Warner making plays. We got Demo Lenore. I was so impressed with the Renardo Greens last week, stepping up, making plays. The Marquis Seagulls, the Upton Stouts. All these guys
Stout got a lot better as the game went along.
That's what I'm saying. They showed improvement significantly in one game already. Now, they got to continue to do that, absolutely. But I am so much more confident that this defense can hold those types of teams and performances that were a problem last year in check this year, Sam. So, Kyler Murray, like saying deuces to, the Devondre Campbells of the world. Yeah, that was last season. That was Nick Sorensen.
Yeah, okay.
Clearly not prepared. I trust Robert Saleh to be able to figure it out. Now, it starts this week in New Orleans against Spencer Rattler, a guy that also can run the ball a little bit. Like, containing this guy is going to be at the forefront, because in the years past, that is something that killed not only D'Amico Ryans, but also Robert Saleh defenses, was scrambling ability of these quarterbacks, whether it was Patrick Mahomes, whether it was Geno Smith last year, whether it's, player X, Russell Wilson at time, whoever you want to go to. Scrambling quarterbacks have given this defense major fits, and that's the one thing I do not want to see in this game.
Yeah,
is Spencer Rattler using his legs.
No, and that's where it's going to be key on. This is where, Mykel Williams, I don't know if you suited up last week. I mean, you did. I saw your number 98 out there, but I don't think the name Mykel Williams was ever said on the broadcast last week, other than when they were announcing the starting lineups.
He had, I guess, a triple team on the Bosa play, so he got the ending play where he got the fumble recovery. Mm-hmm. People are saying that there was a lot of attention taken to Mykel. I don't know. That's it.
Whatever. I need more than that.
That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah, no, I need more than, you got to really look at the finer details to really appreciate how great he was. Who was the guy on that was like, we used to say that about like Khalil Mack or something, or like when he wasn't getting enough pass rush, it was, oh, you got to look at the finer details.
Kind of like there is something to be said about that when it comes to like, you just
I agree. Yeah,
there's Khalil Mack. There are levels to this. Like Micah Parsons last night, you might look at the box score and say, well, no sacks.
I think we did that for D Ford at one point too. You got to look at the finer. No, what I need Michael Williams first off, control that outside run there. Don't give up contain, because that's what you have to do with running quarterbacks. And yeah, just to show up, dude. Like, show why you were picked in the draft where you were. Show why the Niners made you their first round pick this week against a very not good Saints offensive line. This could be a great chance for you to have a coming out party against this bad team in New Orleans Saints. So yeah, let's see a lot more Michael Williams this week, because that's just going to make life easier for Nick Bosa. The whole point of this is Michael Williams needs the ball out to take a pressure off of Nick Bosa so that Nick Bosa can start doing Nick Bosa things. So it starts there on the defensive line and also the middle of the defensive line. Yeah, I need to see a lot more improvement there too, because I do not need Alvin Kamara chewing up clock, getting 4 yards per carry.
So we had Greg Cosell on earlier this week, courtesy of River Islands, with our guys Mark Willard and Dan Dibley. This is what he had to say about the 49ers defense in that Week 1 performance in Seattle.
I didn't know this was going to happen because, I'm not in their meetings, obviously. But I really liked Siegel coming out of Kansas State. Yeah. And when I saw that he was the starter, I was like, wow, that really pleased me, because I really liked his tape. And I thought he was a better player than where he got drafted. And obviously he's now a starting player. But I really like what they did up front. That's going to get better and better. Huff looks solid. So it's Bosa and Huff on the edge with Gross Matos and Williams inside. But Winters, we know Warner. He's been doing it for years. He's the best linebacker in the game. And I don't think there's a close second. But I thought Winters really showed up as well. He's a solid football player.
D. Winters was popping on that screen last week. That's a guy I don't think we've talked about enough this week. And we saw it last year. Having Devondre Campbell in there instead of Dre Greenlaw, it was just it's night and day. The vibes, the feels, the tone that's being set, or lack thereof when Campbell was out there, compared to just really a half of football we saw from Dre Greenlaw against the Rams on Thursday Night Football last season. It was night and day, and I'm getting Greenlaw vibes from D. Winters. Again, it's one game, but I saw in that one game performance in a divisional game in Seattle, like that was significant for me against a guy in Sam Darnold that got paid a lot of money, against some really good skill position players / running backs, the Charbonnets of the world, the Kenneth Walkers, Jackson Smith and Jigba, like Cooper Kupp. These are some like significant names, and he more than held his own last week. It was refreshing to see, quite frankly.
No, again, that's one of the things I love, and I'm very excited to see what D. Winter's going to be doing against this Saints team this year, this week, and in the follow-up of. I love what D. Winters did last week. Very excited to see him more of him.
I'm very excited to talk to Bobby Hebert coming up on the other side. Former Saints quarterback, pre and post game for the Saints radio network on WWL 105.3 in New Orleans. The Cajun Cannon coming up next, talking Saints Niners right here on the Morning Roast. Sam Lubman in for Joe Shasky. And it's going to be brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort.
Get away to Cache Creek Casino Resort during our Back to Bingo drawings going on now until September 28th. Every Sunday from 1 to 6 p.m., join us for hourly cash prizes. Then at 7 p.m., join us for the grand prize drawing where you could win up to $15,000 cash.
HEAs offered in certain states by Unlock Home Equity Solutions, Inc., NMLS 2657081. See NMLSConsumerAccess.org for full details, including terms and conditions. Visit unlock.com/legal. Actor portrayal.
Lisa, thanks for having me over. Your new kitchen is gorgeous. How'd you find the money to do it?
We worked with this great company, Unlock. They help you unlock the future value of your home to get the cash you need today.
So it's a home equity loan?
No, it's not a loan at all. There's no monthly payments and no interest charges ever. And you can use the money however you want. We were able to redo our kitchen and pay off our credit card debt.
Wow, Jack and I could really use this to finally pay off our old student loan debt. How do I get started?
It's easy. Just give him a call or go to unlock.com.
Call 1-888-780-6854 to unlock the value in your home and get up to $500,000 in cash with no monthly payments and no interest ever. Use the money for home improvements, to pay off debt, or to add to your retirement fund. It's up to you. Visit unlock.com. That's unlock.com. Or call 1-888-780-6854 now to get started.
It's NorCal versus SoCal in the ultimate rivalry showdown. The San Jose Earthquakes take on LAFC September 13th at Levi Stadium. This match could be the key to the Quakes' playoff push, and the action doesn't stop at the final whistle. Catch a live halftime performance by Edgardo Nunez. And before the game, don't miss Fan Fest with Blue Demon Jr. in a live wrestling match. Plus meet and greets with world champion boxer Eric Morales and L3 legend Moises Munoz. Get your tickets now at sjearthquakes.com and be there when NorCal brings the heat.
Now at Whole Foods Market, get 20% off air-chilled boneless, skinless chicken breast with Prime through September 16th. As always, there are no antibiotics ever. Make a balanced meal with this versatile protein. While supplies last, shop in-store or online. Terms apply.
For over 70 years, Golden State Lumber and Showroom has developed strong partnerships with top brands like Trex. Leading the way in performance-engineered decking and railing, Trex offers products that won't rot, splinter, or fade. Their sun-comfortable, heat-mitigating technology keeps decks cool underfoot, and Trex marine-grade decking withstands salt water, sun, and sand. Explore their latest Transcend colors, Hatteras, and Salt Flat, featuring a 50-year limited residential warranty. For a link to Trex, visit GoldenStateLumber.com. Golden State, when you succeed, we succeed.
Boxer & Gerson, Northern California's premier workers' compensation law firm, helping injured workers get their lives back for over 40 years.
Game day just got an upgrade. Whether you're gearing up or winding down, Westfield Valley Fair is your go-to spot. Hit the latest gear at Shoe Palace. Grab bold bites at Shake Shack and Eataly. And catch the action on big screens at King's Fish House. From premium shopping to epic eats and entertainment, make every football Sunday legendary. Westfield Valley Fair, where football fans fuel up in style.
Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877 Cars for Kids. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Your cold is coming. Your cold is coming. When you feel a cold coming, shorten it with Zicam, the #1 cold shortening brand.
Oh, no, not before my big trip.
The big trip you've been planning is coming up, and so is your cold. But Zicam can shorten your cold and get you back to planning sooner.
Thanks, Revere.
We really should keep Zicam in the house.
Shorten your cold with Zicam.
Take it from America's most revered messenger. Shorten your cold at the first sign with cold shortening products from Zicam, the #1 cold shortening brand. Available in stores or see where to buy at Zicam.com.
Welcome to Dugout Radio, the undisputed home of Boomtown Baseball.
The Wi-Fi is booming with Xfinity, baby. Our next caller is
Stacy. How do you stay locked in on every pitch and play?
We stream it all live on Xfinity Internet with low lag, 99.99% network reliability, and speeds faster than a base runner beating the throw to home plate.
I stream on my TV, tablets, even my smart fridge.
Smart fridge?
With all those games, we gotta refuel.
Stream live baseball with Wi-Fi built for the biggest moments. Xfinity. Restrictions apply. Actual speeds vary, not guaranteed.
Join Lorenzo Neal and Evan Giddings at Laughing Monk Brewing in Sunnyvale every 49ers home game this season for our special pregame live broadcast. Plus, we'll have games, prizes, great food, and shuttles to and from Levi Stadium. For more information, visit 957thegame.com.
Now back to the morning roast with Joe Spadoni.
Spadoni, you hit the ground running, dude. You are off the hook.
I love how you guys vibe.
And Joe Shasky on 95.7 The Game.
I haven't heard of Off the Hook since like 1999. I love that guy, though.
It's a phrase that does not get enough run.
A little nicotine on a Friday? Why are you smiling? Equipto? I'm mad at that, Carter. He's crushing it back there. We got Steven Risotto helping him out. Sam Lubman in for Joe Shasky today. He's been crushing it. We've been joined by Jermaine Wiggins of WEI in Boston. We're going to be joined shortly by Bobby A. Bear, the Cajun Cannon, former quarterback for the New Orleans Saints, and he does pre- and post-game for their radio network, again, down in Louisiana. Bobby Hebert joining us very shortly and get his thoughts on the matchup, the quarterback positions. Who is Spencer Rattler? Like, who is Kellen Moore? Like, who this team, like, usually we do like a preview, and we always do it. Like, we talk about the other team, and some teams are easier to talk about than others when it comes to previews. Like, I think we could talk about the Chiefs for a while. Seahawks.
We know
Eagles,
a little bit about them.
Eagles, a division game, but like this Saints team,
don't see them very often.
You don't, but they sneakily have a lot of names that Niner fans should be familiar with. As I'm pulling up right now, Alvin Kamara, you guys know who he is. Chris Olave, Ohio State wide receiver, formerly.
I see a lot of Upton Stout.
Brandon Cooks, you know that name. I mean, guys, he's got to be like 50
I can't believe
years
he's
old
still
now.
in the league.
I was going to say. But you go defensively, you got Cam Jordan, Cal, your boy.
Big Cam Jordan fan.
There you go. Chase Young.
Oh, old friend.
There you go. Kool-Aid McKinstry. Love Kool-Aid. That's a great name.
Oh, yeah.
Isaac Yadam, Niner corner last year. So there you go. There are some familiar faces on this team that we will be seeing. Speaking of familiar faces, this guy played out in Oakland once upon a time. This is Bobby Hebert, the Cajun Cannon, former Oakland Invaders quarterback, and obviously former quarterback for the New Orleans Saints, WWL 105.3 in New Orleans, joining us now, courtesy of River Islands, as all guests on 95.7 The Game appear on the River Islands guest line. Isn't it time for you to discover the islands, River Islands in Lathrop? And let's just start it off right here, Bobby. Joe Spadoni alongside Sam Lubman. What was your reaction when you saw that Mac Jones is going to be starting in place of Brock Purdy this Sunday?
The Saints are going to win. Even though as sorry as everyone from a national perspective thinks the Saints are, no, this is a great chance for them to win. Now, no, the 49ers are still favored. I think it's like 2-3 points. And at one time, I think it was up to 6.5. But all I know is I just remember, you might say, well, Bobby, it's not the Patriots, it's the 49ers. But Mac Jones, the last time he played against the Saints, the last time they faced off 2023, he's a member of the Patriots. He went 12 of 22 for 110 yards, 2 interceptions before he was benched. I can't even think of the guy now that he got benched for. I think he had a funny last name.
Zappy, right? Bailey Zappy?
Zappy, yeah, Zappy. He got benched for Zappy. So he got benched for Zappy. It was a 34-0 shutout. Probably the most convincing, dominant performance post Sean Payton for Dennis Allen. You know, Dennis Allen now decoordinated with the Bears. But, yeah, so we do not fear Mac Jones. I'm a Brock Purdy fan. I fear Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant. He's obviously irrelevant now. I think just because he wasn't, drafted, 5-star guy, number one, like, he don't get enough respect. I mean, for the younger audience, the older audience know this, he's like Rodney Dangerfield. Hey, I don't get no respect. But I look at Brock Purdy, I think he's a difference maker. George Kittle not playing, way better, more productive tight end than he is. But next man up, when you say next man up, who in the hell is the next man? So I know it's a great opportunity for the Saints. It does matter when you play a team. I think if the Saints were going to beat the 49ers this year, this is the time to play them without Brock Purdy. I mean, the Who Dat Nation, they've actually, Bobby, you think the Saints are going to win a game? I said it's hard not to win a game. I know the Lions of 4 have gone over and not won. But I don't know. I just think by accident, because it's like pros versus pros. The ball's going to bounce your way. They're going to win at least a couple of games. I don't know. In playing the 49ers right now, this might be their opportunity.
Bobby, the big question we've been asking this week is the fact that you say you don't fear Mac Jones, but you do fear Brock Purdy, I think sets this up well. We're all obviously big on Brock out here, and we're kind of talking about, what the drop-off is like from Brock Purdy to Mac Jones. Some people think it's not that big. Some people think it's a massive drop-off. I'm curious, what's your opinion? How big is the drop-off from Brock Purdy to Mac Jones in your eyes?
Well, I don't know. What has Mac Jones done in his career? I mean, now, I know when you get drafted in the first round, that doesn't mean you're going to produce. It's a crapshoot. How many first-rounders don't produce? I mean, last season, okay, he had an opportunity. You might say, well, it's the Jaguars, not the 49ers supporting cast. With the Jaguars, he started 7 games. He was 2-5. I think if he would start with the 49ers, he might be 3-4. So what does that mean? I think he's hovering around 500 type quarterback, but there's not enough quarterbacks. You got 32 teams, and then there is 10, 12 teams. They're always looking for a quarterback. I think he provides good depth, and I think this would not be good news for the 49ers. Let's say if Brock Purdy has to miss a month. Now, if you miss a game, maybe 2, then, you can weather the storm. But, no, I'm that much of a Brock Purdy fan. I think he's way more difference maker than people give him credit for.
Talking with Bobby Hebert here on the Morning Roast, former quarterback for the Saints and pre- and post-game host on 105.3 WWL in New Orleans. So what are the strengths and weaknesses of this Saints team, Bobby? Because you got Spencer Rattler there, no more Dennis Allen, first-time head coach Kellen Moore here, obviously no more Derek Carr. Like, what are the strengths and weaknesses of this team as 49er fans are kind of wondering about them?
Well, a weakness is, unlike the Packers, they're old. Or the old players are contributing at a high level. Like when they were hanging with the Cardinals, had a chance to win. We've never seen this. Sean Payton and Drew Brees, they were 6.5-point underdog to open the season. I mean, what, in the Superdome? That happened a long time with Sean Payton and Drew Brees. And, going to the Cardinals game, even that, the Saints were number one. We were number one in something. The Saints have won 6 in a row opening games. Well, they couldn't make it 7, but Spencer Rattler gave him a chance at the end. But I would say that you need more younger players to contribute at a high level. Like the guys we're talking about, like Cam Jordan. Right now he has 123 career sacks, second amongst all active players. He had a sack and a half. It's all players that, like Jawan Johnson, the tight end, how about you make the great catch at the end, and then you're the hero, give the Saints an opportunity to win. Alvin Kamara, I think, now a lot of the fans, 49ers fans know this, Saints fans know this, you're looking at like 2 of the best running backs in NFL history, or what have you done for me lately, or recent history. I'm talking about Alvin Kamara and Christian McCaffrey. Even with the injuries and what you're dealing with, I look at like yards from scrimmage, the last 8 seasons. Okay, everyone's heard of Derrick Henry. He's number 1. Alvin Kamara's number 2 at a little over 11,500 yards. You got Tyreek Hill, 3. Then you got Christian McCaffrey, 4, right at 11,000 yards. So I just look at 2 of the best running backs. But when you say running backs, what can you do? Are you truly just a ground and pound guy? No, that's not Christian McCaffrey or Alvin Kamara. When I look at the pass receiving running back, that's why you look at the total yards from scrimmage. And if you look at most games with 10-plus receptions by running back in NFL history, I always love NFL history. Christian McCaffrey 1 with 11, Alvin Kamara 2 with 7. Okay, most games are rushing touchdowns and receiving touchdowns in NFL history. Marshall Faulk 1, I think we've heard of that name. And Christian McCaffrey's tied with him at 15, Alvin Kamara with 12. So you're looking at, if you just love football and you don't have a dog in the hunt, to me, Christian McCaffrey, talk about a bad white boy who can hang with the brothers. And Christian McCaffrey's off the chart. And Alvin Kamara, they're almost like 2 clones of a modern running back, which you want. And the quarterback's best friend, how no, they can run. They can still hit it and get it, but it's when you get them in space and those yards after the catch, a quarterback loves that. And Alvin Kamara still has a lot left in the tank, even though, he's 30 years old, he's too old and all that. But, again, you could see I kind of like Christian McCaffrey and Alvin Kamara. I'm a big fan of theirs. But I think it's going to be an adventurous game, kind of like the Cardinals. That, I don't know, the Saints might win, they might not win. I told the fans, get ready for this, because we ain't blowing out nobody. But do you know, this is crazy. the last 7 games, the Saints have not even scored 20 points. They have not scored. Just going into last season, Spencer Rattler was the quarterback in a number of those games. The last game they won, Brian Brzee had to block a field goal, and they beat the Giants, I want to say off the top of my head, I don't know, like 14-11 or something like that. It was low scoring. But anyway, if the Saints are in a shootout, they have no chance to win. It has to be like 17-13, that type of game. And the one thing, though, I'm kind of excited about Brandon Staley, and I think he's one of those. Maybe they make it as a head coach. I think he knows what he's doing as a defensive coordinator, and I think the Saints defense will keep him in games. That's why, I don't know, what does that mean? A handful of games they could win? Possibly. I think it might, and I told the fans this, it might be the same song and dance as last year where they win only 5 games. But you got to be patient. I don't even know if the quarterback of the future is even on the team. But this is truly rebuilding. Yeah, and the Sean Payton and Drew Brees era, it's officially over. And it was great, when it was going. Because anytime you're going over a dozen years in one place, and there's a lot of winning going on in that time. And I think one of the greatest games, and this is the Saints' greatest team, I think even when they won the Super Bowl in 2011, when they lost to San Francisco, in San Francisco, that's what Alex Smith, at the end, they made him look like a Hall of Famer. But when I remember how good the Saints were, they became the new greatest show in turf, surpassed Kurt Warner and the Rams. Then after that, I think Peyton Manning and the Broncos passed them up. But anyway, they were the new greatest show in turf that year. They were waxing people. They were averaging 30-some points a game. And to show you how good they were, I never forget, they had 5 turnovers against the 49ers on the road. And they were losing by 17 points. Came back, took the lead twice under 5 minutes in the fourth quarter. And then the 49ers and Alex Smith to Vernon Davis ended up winning. That's when Greg Williams got a little too cute, trying to be too aggressive. And to me, that was the year where that was the best team ever with the Saints. But them days are long gone right now. We're just hoping for some future. But great rivalry between the Saints and the 49ers, NFC West. I was part of that. There's one thing. You don't have a winning record against all starting quarterbacks except Joe Montana. And I guess it is the Joe Montana. I was like 2 wins and 9 losses. So I did not, but a Hall of Famer. But I do have a winning record against the great Steve Young.
There you go.
You're counting LA Express.
That's right.
Panthers, Oakland Invaders,
in the USFL days.
Falcons, Atlanta Falcons, Saints. So when I look at all that, I look at the 49ers and I go, damn, Joe Montana. I remember us playing the 49ers. We won 12 games twice, and we were the wild card. The strike year, like in '87, we were 12-3. '92 at 12-4, but San Fran's like 14-2 at that time. The time we actually won the NFC West, in '91, we were 11-5. But the point being is that, no, we can have great seasons and we'd still be the damn wild card behind the 49ers.
Oh, wow. Bobby Hebert here joining us here on the Morning Roast, part of 105.3, 105.3 in New Orleans, our Odyssey sister station down there. Bobby, I think a big key for the 49ers is going to be the offensive line, keeping Mac Jones up and also opening up lanes for Christian McCaffrey. And they're going to be going against this Saints defense that I don't really know a whole lot about. Cameron Jordan's a guy who I've always been a big fan of him going back to his Cal days, so I've always enjoyed watching him. Chase Young we're a little bit familiar with, but what is this Saints pass rush looking like right now? How much juice does Cameron Jordan have left? And just, how much resistance is the Saints defense going to be giving the 49ers offense on Sunday?
Well, you have to have luck with injuries. And listen, I think the 49ers and the Saints, they've been snake bit. I remember last year I was heading out to training camp in Irvine. They were going to practice against the 49ers, but they were so beat up in preseason they couldn't even practice. And they kind of carried over to the regular season. They kind of snake bit again. The 49ers, we look at them as a better team, though, than the Saints right now. But they've both been snake bit with injuries, but there's no excuses. Like, for instance, Chase Young. Chase Young was kicking ass in training camp. I'm saying there's no way, if he's healthy and he seems like he's ready to roll, he'll have double-digit sacks. if you look at he looks like Tarzan. Now, I told the fans, we need him to play like Tarzan, not look like Tarzan, play like Jane. He is the physical specimen. And I said, I don't see how he just getting off the bus. He seems like he's 11, 12, sack guy. And then now he's hurt. I don't know, your calf connects to your Achilles. So it don't look like he's going to play this Sunday. So he was one that would Cam Jordan wasn't even going to start. I mean, he would be in that rotation. They were going with Carl Granderson, who's from Sacramento. California, went to high school there. It was a Wyoming Cowboy. And Carl Granderson, he's been fine. Demario Davis, I'm not saying he's like an older Fred Warner. He is unbelievable. He's 35, but he's still a tackling machine. He would be like, like Levante David and all them. You look at all the ones, man, they still playing and still producing at a high level. So now I'd say the weakness of the Saints is their secondary. Alontae Taylor played well. He's the alpha dog now, and kind of they have him in the slot. But, when they lost Marshawn Lattimore, they traded him to Washington. And then you have Paulson and Debo. They didn't want to pay him. He goes to the Giants. He was a little too handsy. But the Saints last year actually had one of the best secondaries as far as the depth. And, that has not been the case this year. There's a lot of young guys. Kool-Aid and McKinstry. I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid yet. It seems like he's going to get picked on week in and week out. When they practice against the Rams this year, and Devontae Adams is going against Kool-Aid, I'll say, man, McVay, he'd be targeted 15 times a game. Unless Kool-Aid had help, he couldn't hang with him and stuff. So, and you got Isaac Yiadom, look at that. I think that's a feel-good story. I mean, you talk about the NFL being international, look at his heritage. I know he was born here, but his family from Ghana, Africa, and then went to Boston College. So if they don't get a pass rush, they could get burnt. But I think they won't be one before last against the run like they were last year. They can. I think that'll come together. The big one they got is Devon Godshaw, LSU. That's a good French name in Louisiana. He's the big nose tackle, big Creole from played with the Patriots. And he could stop the run. They're running a 3-4 instead of 4-3 with Brandon Staley. So I think it'd be more, but then, then I look at this. They might be able to hang because I think that's a weakness with the 49ers, their receivers. That's one thing. There ain't no Jerry Rices out there and all. I just, Brandon Ayuk, I look at who they have playing receiver. I don't know. What do y'all think?
We got Ricky Pearsall, Bobby. He's the first-round pick last year. He had a really good game against a tough Seattle secondary.
Well, what else did he do? One good game.
Well, I can only judge. It's only been 1 week, Bobby. What do you want me to say?
Yeah, but I'm saying last year, what did he do?
He was hurt. Remember, I don't know. Well, it was kind of like a tragedy. He got shot right here downtown San Francisco.
No, exactly. Yeah. That was a tragedy.
Yeah. Before that, he was struggling to get onto the field. Yeah.
Hey, well, this would be an opportunity for him. Now, the quarterback got to get him the ball to have back-to-back 100-yard games. Because I'm telling you, the Saints secondary, they're like a bunch of virgins out there. They ain't nothing to write home about. So if you look at it, he had 810 yards last week, leading the team. Yeah, that could definitely happen again. I could see Mac Jones leaning upon him. But, looking at what Mac Jones are looking at, what he's done. But he's thrown 54 touchdown passes in 52 games, 49 starts. I think Mac Jones is an NFL quarterback. And I think, what do you want to call him, journeyman, whatever, but I think he's a solid backup. And this is how you keep a job and you play for double digits, 10, 11, 12 years, is that when you able to hold down the fort and come away with some wins. And then Brock Purdy eventually comes back in there and you did your job. And I think that's what they got to hope for with Mac Jones right now.
Hey, Bobby, great stuff this morning. We really appreciate your time. Can't wait to watch, I should say, 10 a.m. West Coast time, Saints-Niners down at the Superdome. Should be fun. We'll do it again soon, Bobby. Thanks, man.
All right, talk to y'all later. Who dat?
There
Thank
you go.
Bobby.
That is Bobby Hebert, the Cajun Cannon, former quarterback for the Saints, and obviously does their pre- and post-game coverage for the Saints Radio Network, 105.3 WWL, our Odyssey sister station. And Bobby may have just completed the record for the longest response to a question for a guest in the history of 95.7 The Game.
I don't know, man. We've had John Miller on this station, too.
No, that was 7. That was like 7 minutes of the strengths and weaknesses of the Saints.
That's like half of a John Miller answer.
It was pretty good. It was pretty good. I'll put that up against John.
I'll never forget when we had John Miller on the first time I got him on this show. They were down in L.A., and he spent 2.5 minutes saying that he was down in L.A. It was actually impressive. I'm sitting there just like, this man can spin a story about everything.
I mean, he's got a great voice. And Bobby actually does too. Bobby with that draw, it was great.
Oh, great little accent there. I love that Creole accent there.
I could go for a po' boy right now. So there's the shrimp. at 8:52
Oyster
a.m.
Fest
Why
down
not?
in New Orleans. You ever been down to
Never. I want to.
Oh, it's a great city. I've been there twice. I went last year, actually, for my friend's bachelor party.
Ooh.
We went down there and actually got down there in time to see Broncos Saints on Thursday night. My friend Jordan, he's a big Broncos fan.
Was that an awful game?
Probably, yeah. I mean, it was really cool to be able to be in the Superdome and just check out that experience.
You didn't watch the game. You just...
Well, I mean, you walk around a little bit because, I've never been to the Superdome before, and, like, I don't care about Saints-Broncos that much. Like, and I don't know when I'll be back. Like, I want to see what this stadium is like. And so, we walked to the different levels and see what it's like. And, I saw Bo Nix place a pass perfectly between two wide open receivers that landed on the ground. That was pretty cool to see. Broncos absolutely wailed on the Saints that night.
I see it, 33-10.
Yeah, I think we saw Zach Wilson in that game. That's how bad it got.
Wow.
But it's an incredible atmosphere down there at the Super Bowl. And, it's a shame. I wanted to ask Bobby. We got Curtis DeLoach coming up at 9:20.
Mm-hmm.
DeLoach, obviously, he was the defensive back for the Saints on that 2006 team that returned to the Superdome and after Hurricane Katrina and had that incredible 10-6 year. They went to the NFC title game. It was Drew Brees' first year with the Saints. And I really want to ask Bobby just his memories about that team. Obviously, we'll ask Curtis about that too. But the Superdome, obviously, it was a shelter for a little while in New Orleans. And that building has a lot of meaning in that city. And when you're in that building, you feel just the energy and the passion from that fan base and what that building means. So I would say the Superdome is on the short list of NFL venues that, as a football fan, you just absolutely have to check out.
So you mentioned that Curtis DeLoach, former Saints DB, was part of the blocked punt for a touchdown. He was the one that recovered it. It was obviously famously Steve Gleason, who we know.
All right, did I say he blocked it?
No. He
scored the touchdown.
He recovered the touchdown for the first game back in New Orleans after Katrina. So, but Steve Gleason being a part of that, being the blocker, and obviously what he has done for ALS awareness and raising money for that with being diagnosed himself is you can't talk about that enough as well. So we'll talk to Curtis DeLoach at 9:20. Plus, coming up about an hour from now, we got the debut of the brand new crossover every Friday around 9:45, 9:48.
Ooh.
You got the morning roast with Steiny and Goo. Can't wait. How's Steiny feeling today? It's a payday Friday. He's got to be feeling good. He's going to go to the cafeteria after. He's going to hang out. He's going to be chilling. He should be feeling fantastic, right? With those Mr. Magoo glasses he's got on. Looks awesome. Or like Uncle Junior from The Sopranos. That's kind of what he looks more like. But interesting. Bobby thinks that the Saints got action now because Purdy's not in there.
You see, he does not fear Mac Jones, but he does fear Brock Purdy. And if there was a game the Saints were going to win, it's this one. The point he said that I thought was really interesting was Saints haven't broken the 20-point mark in their last 7 games.
Yeah, they don't have a good offense.
Can the 49ers just get to 21 then? Is that capable against? And the other thing he said that I thought was very interesting is where's our priest drop? They're too old.
They are.
This is a very old Saints team.
He's too old.
Double dosage right there.
Love it when our board ops are all on the same page. But yeah, I mean, the Saints are one of the older teams. You look at their defense; they got playmakers on defense, but their playmakers are old. He talked about their starting middle line, their starting inside linebacker, Demario Davis.
He's old.
He said he's an older Fred Warner. Cam Jordan, who's one of my favorite football players ever. When he was a D end at Cal, he's the guy who I wanted to be when I played defensive end in high school. I was not anywhere near.
Who'd you want to be?
I wanted to be a defensive end, or I wanted to be a defensive end like Cam Jordan. That dude was just so good.
God bless you.
Yeah, no, it didn't work out very well.
You tried.
I did try. Hey, I had fun playing football in high school.
There you go.
But yeah, Cam Jordan, I've always just loved his game. Ever since I first saw him at Cal, I followed him his entire career. And the fact that he's still going is impressive to me. So shout out to him. But Yeah, you're going to be seeing a lot of Cam Jordan against Trent Williams. And do you say at one point that Cam Jordan's not even supposed to be starting right now, but because Carl Granderson isn't available, that Jordan is going to have to be out there? So that's going to be a couple of OGs going out there between Trent and Cam Jordan.
Cam Jordan, I think he's going to be a Hall of Famer, by the way.
I think he is,
3-time All-Pro, 8 Pro Bowlers.
123 sacks?
All decade. Yeah, 123 sacks. I mean,
he's been doing it for a while. This guy was drafted in 2011, and here we are 14 years later, and he's still playing in the NFL at a very demanding position at a high level. Like, yeah, that's I think, a Hall of Famer.
By the way, hey, Carter, make sure you're listening to this one. Sports Talk on 95.7 The Game is presented by Paramount Plus. Watch the new season of Tulsa King on Paramount Plus. Sylvester Stallone is back in the original hit series Tulsa King, streaming September 21st exclusively on Paramount Plus. Check that one out. Yeah, I think he's like a mob boss in that one or something. I don't know. It's like in Oklahoma, hence Tulsa King, Tulsa, Oklahoma. There
Being
you
the
go.
king of Tulsa. I don't know. Being the king of Tulsa doesn't sound that cool.
Yeah, well, apparently it is because.
What's there even to do in Tulsa besides like leave?
They have like steaks there, right? They
have steaks in every city.
Yeah, but like Midwest, like that's their thing. Like
you can
cattle.
eat steaks there. Is that what you're saying there is to do?
I mean,
is Oklahoma Midwest or is that South?
No, that's the Midwest. Oklahoma's Midwest. It's like the middle of America, right? Right? That's the middle of America. Yeah.
I thought Midwest. Yeah. Well, I thought Midwest was like Michigan and Ohio.
No. Like Midwest is Oklahoma, like Kansas, Iowa, and I think Ohio might get in there a little bit, but that's more mid-north is like Michigan and like Illinois and stuff.
I mean, you're flying over them regardless. So
how about it's all middle America? There you go. Does that make you feel better?
Again, it's yeah.
It's not New Orleans or San Francisco.
No, New Orleans is a fun city. You can also get steaks in New Orleans.
There you can, and San Francisco. We got some great steakhouses here. Also, great prime rib. I'm still waiting for my prime rib from
someday. It'll happen.
Yeah, someday that'll happen. 888-957-9570 is the number. That's the voice of Sam Lubman, who's filling in, doing a hell of a job for Shasky. We're talking about Saints-Niners Week 2, no Brock Purdy, and how big of a drop-off is it from Purdy to Jones? Well, Jermaine Wiggins thinks it's massive.
I don't know much about Brock Purdy. I've seen him play and whatever, and I'm still a little bit skeptical. Is he worth that type of money? But I would say it's a massive drop-off, right? Because if you look at the success, and you can't knock the kid Brock Purdy. You look at the success that he's had, and now you look at Mac Jones, and you're going from Brock Purdy to Mac Jones. It's a major drop-off. So, I mean, I understand the being optimistic and having that because of Shanahan. But, here you're getting a guy that hasn't really shown much success in the NFL. And if you're a team like San Francisco, like in New England, our expectations are low. Like we're like, if we can win 7 or 8 games, maybe 9, great. But I know out there in Frisco, I know you guys are out there looking at it like, shoot, we're expecting big things. So it's going to be interesting to see how Shanahan is able to get things going with Mac Jones at quarterback.
Listen, I think Mac is going to have a really solid game on Sunday. I think he's going to have a couple of big-time throws and maybe have some bomb skis in this one. After what Bobby Hebert just told us about the Saints secondary, which he says that's like their weakest link, and it's like kind of stinks. He thinks he's not drinking the Kool-Aid that is Kool-Aid McKinstry at this point. I think Mac, and I get it. You can say I sound insane because they don't have Kittle out there, potentially no Juwan Jennings. Like, who's he thrown to? Well, Ricky Pearsall is a first-round pick. And Ricky Pearsall had 100 yards receiving last week. I think Ricky Pearsall is due to have a massive game in New Orleans down there at the Superdome. So I'm looking at that connection. I'm looking at Kendrick Bourne. If he's activated this week, maybe look for him to get a couple balls there. I'm looking all around here and saying, you know what? If you get Christian McCaffrey in the passing game, that's another, what do you have, like 9 receptions last week? I don't fear this Saints defense at all. And I think the Saints offense should be fearing the 49ers defense. This has potential to get away from New Orleans and for San Francisco to pull away, I think, in the second half. As you're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM and HD1 San Francisco on Odyssey Sports Station, and the home of the Golden State Warriors and Valkyries, always live in the free Odyssey app, coming live from the Laughing Monk studio. So I'm looking for Mac Jones to not have a 400-yard performance. I don't think he's going to look like some scrub, though, like Jermaine and Bobby Hebert are thinking look, this Sunday, Sammy.
Well, I think as we look at this game in terms of just what needs to be done, who needs to do what on what side of the ball, we haven't really talked about the defense a whole lot today, Spinoni. We've teased it here and there, but hearing what Bobby had to say about this offense, like, again, they have not scored 20 points in their last 7 games. This seems like a great opportunity. Can this defense just basically do the heavy lifting here and make things as easy and simple for Mac Jones as possible? I'd be curious to see, up and stout, he kind of had a rough start to the game last week, but he really came along the second half. I like what we saw there. How much of Chris Olave and Brandon Cooks is he going to see? That's going to be an interesting test there. Can the 49ers interior D-line, can they shut down that running game? I think we're talking about this game through the lens of what Mac Jones needs to do and our faith in Mac Jones carrying this team and making plays and whatnot. I think this is the game where Robert Saleh needs to be needs to get the game ball in this game on Sunday. This needs to be Robert Saleh coming out and just unleashing defensive dominance on a Saints team that is in the middle of a rebuild, as Bobby Hebert said. Like, this is not a team that is trying to win. This is a team that wants to lose football games. And this is a defense that, even if they are young, they play hard, they play fast, and they have a great guy leading it in Saleh. This all sets up, I think, for the defense to be the reason why the 49ers win this. And Mac Jones just kind of has to, basically just sit back and do the basics.
I'll say this, they don't have a Jackson Smith and Jigba out there.
No.
Chris Olave is a solid receiver.
He is.
But he wasn't the best team on those Ohio State teams. That was Garrett Wilson. He's the baller. Brandon Cooks,
he was good a couple years ago.
He's old. Yeah. Like Alvin Kamara, like, how much does he have left in the tank? Like, there's so many question marks on that offense alone. And again, you could say that, well, Joe, look at the 49ers offense. I hear you. I hear you on that. But I'll say this. I trust Kyle Shanahan, Mac Jones, Christian McCaffrey, and Ricky Pearsall. Like, there's a chance Ricky Pearsall is the best offensive player that comes away from this week 2 matchup, which kind of sounds crazy just given the conversation we've had about him this offseason. And I don't think we talked about it enough. Ricky Pearsall had a hell of a week 1 performance. I mean, 4 receptions, 108 yards, and there were some bombs in there. 45-yarder, obviously, on that then game-winning drive, Sammy. Like, Ricky Pearsall showed up in a big-time way, and he made some big-time catches. Again, just 4 of them, but I'm looking at that number to probably double. I'm looking at 8 receptions. I'm looking at more than 100 yards or around 100 for Ricky Pearsall. I'm looking for Christian McCaffrey. If you're a fantasy football junkie, PPR league, look at Ricky Pearsall, look at CMC to get a lot of touches in the pass game this week. Get them in space, Sammy, and they could do some damage. And conversely, try to run the ball down their throat again. I know, Seattle sold out for their own, and I think the Saints are going to be able to do that. But I do think you'll be able to impose your will as this game goes on, and I do think it'll eventually slip away from the Saints, and it might look like a blowout towards the end when you look at the final score. We've got our guy, Curtis Deloach, coming on in about 15 minutes, former Saints player, cornerback, and obviously scored the first touchdown post-Katrina at the Superdome. Get all of his thoughts on that. And just what a moment, as we're 20 years now removed from Hurricane Katrina. And I don't know if you guys all watched the doc. I know Shasky and I have talked about it. Hell and High Water on Netflix. It's very powerful, and I urge all of you to watch it. But just right in the feels with that one for sure. As someone who was still relatively young when all that was happening, I was only we were like 12.
We were in middle school at the time.
We were 12,
yeah.
like and it hits you at the time, but it doesn't really hit you until you get a little bit older with certain things like that. And it certainly hit me right in the field. So we'll talk to Curtis Deloach about all of that coming up in about 14 minutes. In the meantime, Sammy, let's go to our guy. The guy that loves the Golden Arches, by the way, more so than Carter Chickering. It's Bobby in Los Altos. Bobby, what's up, buddy?
Hey, good morning. I wish you could GPS me because I'm in the parking lot of the Mountain View McDonald's as we speak. Jan, I wish you were here so I could break bread with you, Jan from Mountain View. Hey, so look, first of all, I really hope Mac Jones was listening to the radio the last hour because that was the most hate I've ever heard towards one guy. The first of all, that Brooklyn accent from that first guy made me laugh.
Boston, Jermaine, he's born and raised. Jermaine Wiggins, born and raised in Boston. Bobby.
Oh, dude, there's no way that dude was. That sounded like Brooklyn to me. But and then that second Bobby Boucher accent, they were cracking me up. But, man, they both hate Mac Jones, so I hope he was listening so he could take some motivation from that. But, look, I view this as actually an opportunity for the team because, first of all, it's only week 2. It's an opportunity for us to see what we got with Mac Jones in as risk-free an environment as we can in the NFL against one of the worst teams. And I really am excited to see what we can do, and we'll see, you know, what the team looks like, I think, in a safe environment. And then number 2, what I really appreciate is that, you know, Saleh's team really, our side of the squad really showed out last week. And I think that it's really a chance for the defense to say, look, maybe we don't have the A-team on our offense, but we're going to carry you. Our calling card is going to be the defense this year, kind of like how Green Bay's defense obviously carried them yesterday. So I just think it's a great opportunity, and it's not like it's, you know, if we lose, we're going to be out of the playoffs or something. It's week 2. So I am very excited to see what we can do. And like I said, it's like a test environment, in my opinion. I know every game counts, but come on, it's week 2, brother. And then finally, man, I'm totally in on probably too much the Tonga kid. I feel like we should have had him try to kick field goals if we hadn't cut Moody. I'm really excited what this guy's going to do. I think he could become a cult hero. So I'm going in early on the Tonga kid, and I hope he goes for another touchdown and about 8 catches and 85 yards.
For Jake Tongas? All right.
The Tongas?
Tongas. It's Tongas.
I like Tonga Kid as a nickname, though.
It's pretty close there. That's Bobby in Los Altos. And you know something with Bobby? He always zigs when everyone else zags, and I appreciate that about Bobby in Los Altos. But I'll say this as well. When it comes to the 49ers this week, I love that Mac Jones is getting slept on a little bit because and people are probably thinking like, Spadoni, why do you love this guy so much? I love when players are actually put in a position to succeed because I have watched so much awful football in my life, awful development in my life when it comes to the game of football, that it's refreshing to see like what Sam Darnold and the Vikings looked like last year. Everyone thought Sam Darnold was a scrub. People still might. And you know what? That's fine.
Yep.
But when you have competent coaching around you, it matters so much. I mean, Bill Belichick, he put a defensive coordinator as Mac Jones's offensive coordinator in his second year. That is not how you succeed.
No.
That's not how you put your guy in a position to succeed. You didn't, keep Jacoby Myers. You got rid of him, and all he's done is been a baller with the Raiders. Like, you didn't keep all these weapons. You drafted N'Keal Harry, who was a bust out of Arizona State. Stunk. You do not put these guys in positions to succeed. And then last year, I mean, the Jacksonville Jaguars blew it up. They fired their general manager. They fired their head coach. I mean, who did Mac have? Oh, his one good player, by the way, that Mac Jones did have. What was it, Brian Thomas Jr.? Yeah, they were awesome together.
Yeah,
that connection was great.
He was better with Mac Jones throwing him the ball than he was with Trevor Lawrence.
So there you go. Hey, by the way, Sam, I know we're up against it, and we got Curtis DeLoach coming up on the other side. I do got to mention this because I've mentioned it a couple times during the show already, but we have an action-packed Sunday, and I'm so damn excited and fired up for the Valkyries taking on the Minnesota Lynx. It's not quite We Believe vibes, but I'm saying why not? Why not the Valkyries?
Instead of We Believe, it's Why Not vibe. I honestly, don't hate that. Like, it would be, I'm not going to say that them winning would be on We Believe vibes because We Believe, part of what made We Believe so incredible was the 14 years of abject humiliation and misery that preceded it.
Right.
But this would be, we're talking about, we're going to talk to Curtis DeLoach, in a few minutes. He was on that 2006 Saints team, which, even though it didn't win a championship, that is one of the most significant seasons and most inspirational seasons that any professional sports team has had for a market. I'm not saying the Valkyries going on a run here, winning it, that would make their inaugural season not on the level of that 06 Saints team, completely different situation here. But that would be a very inspiring season that the Valkyries had this year if they, crown it with a first round playoff victory over the top seeded Minnesota Lynx. That would be in terms of inspirational, incredible seasons in Bay Area sports history. I'm not going to rank it because I don't want to go down that road right now at a minute before our break, but it's on the list of the great, memorable, inspirational seasons of Bay Area sports history. It might already be on that list, but it rises up that list with a playoff series victory.
On a Sunday that features Giants-Dodgers and possible playoff seeding, on a day that features Week 2 49ers backup quarterback controversy against the Saints in New Orleans. The most important game that day is a playoff game with the Golden State Valkyries. Think about that. If I was to tell you that just a few months ago, that on September 14th on a Sunday that has the Niners playing and the Giants and Dodgers, it's actually the Valkyries that have the most on the line. Pretty incredible. We'll be locked in. You're home for Golden State Valkyries basketball right here on 95.7 The Game. Curtis Deloach on the other side, and it's going to be brought to you by Moderna.
mNEXSpike COVID-19 vaccine mRNA by Moderna has arrived. To learn more and find it near you, visit mnexspike.com. That's mnexspike.com.
Coming to Freeman's Appliance in Pleasant Hill, September 26th through the 28th for their fall clearance sales event. Take advantage of factory direct prices, one-of-a-kind opportunities, special pricing on floor models, and convenient financing. Save on new appliances from trusted brands like Miele, Bosch, Electrolux, LG, and Maytag. Visit Freeman's Appliance in Pleasant Hill for their fall clearance sales event September 26th through the 28th for the best time to save on new appliances for your home.
Hi, I'm Lacey, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. And yes, I'm actually a jeweler. I bring dream engagement rings to life every day in our jeweler's workshop. When I hand set your diamond into your ring, I think about creating a piece you'll wear for a lifetime. I pay attention to the smallest details and treat every ring with the same care and craftsmanship, no matter the size or price. Come check us out at your nearby store. Our engagement rings are made with love from our hands to yours, because a friend knows your love deserves the highest quality. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Okay, Bay Area, I've got a bigger team for you to join. The team that donates blood. Hot Yoga Republic in Mill Valley is teaming up with Vitalent for a blood drive September 25th and 26th. Roll up your sleeves, give blood, save a life. Every 2 seconds, somebody needs it. Accident victims, kids in chemo, real people who need you. Let's do this, Bay Area. Find your spot at hotyogarepublic.com. That's hotyogarepublic.com. And a big thanks to Habas Law for backing this. Habas Law, always fighting to make it right.
Americans pay about $5 billion to control termites and repair their damage every year. Many people underestimate exactly how much damage they do. Call Pacific Coast Termite today at 800-PACIFIC for a free home inspection. Certain restrictions apply. No tenting, though. No double bagging your food. No pet sitting. Mention KCBS and get 10% off termite treatments and a 2-year guarantee on their work. Call 800-PACIFIC, 800-PACIFIC, or go to PacificCoastTermite.com.
Texting terms at unlock.com/SMS. Privacy policy at unlock.com/privacy-policy. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out. Terms and conditions apply. For full details, see unlock.com/legal after portrayal.
Lisa, thanks for having me over. Your new kitchen is gorgeous. How'd you find the money to do it?
We worked with this great company, Unlock. They help you unlock the future value of your home to get the cash you need today.
So it's a home equity loan?
No, it's not a loan at all. There's no monthly payments and no interest charges ever. And you can use the money however you want. We were able to redo our kitchen and pay off our credit card debt.
Wow, Jack and I could really use this to finally pay off our old student loan debt. How do I get started?
It's easy. Just go to their website.
Text EQUITY to 865-865 to unlock the value in your home and get up to $500,000 in cash with no monthly payments and no interest ever. Pay off debt, improve your home, add to your retirement fund. It's up to you. Text EQUITY to 865-865. Text the word EQUITY to 865-865. Text EQUITY to 865-865 now.
Why is Macy's one-day sale the one sale you can't miss? For starters, you'll find our best prices of the month on fall's top trends, like $99.99 for trenches and barn jackets, diamond bracelets $249, and for cozy nights in, comfy sheets at $19.99 and under. Plus, it's Star Money bonus days, when Star Rewards members can earn Star Money faster. Not a member yet? Join for free online or in-store. Don't miss Macy's one-day sale today. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Hey, it's your boy Guru. Every time we put a rat on the table during our show, it's brought to you by Atco Pest Control. Atco Pest Control is a family-owned local business proud to provide pest control in the Bay Area for over 35 years. Atco uses natural methods to give you a peace of mind and keep your family out of harm's way. Quality pest control doesn't have to empty your savings either. Don't wait. Go to AtcoPestControl.com for all your pest control needs. They got you covered.
What makes Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water different? We always bottle our Alpine Spring Water less than 1.5 miles from the spring source, and all our bottles are made with 50% recycled plastic from our own recycling plants. Crystal Geyser, bottled at the spring source.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part, they accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Your cold is coming. Your cold is coming. When you feel a cold coming, shorten it with Zicam, the #1 cold shortening brand.
Oh, no, not before my big trip.
The big trip you've been planning is coming up, and so is your cold. But Zicam can shorten your cold and get you back to planning sooner.
Thanks, Revere.
We really should keep Zicam in the house.
Shorten your cold with Zicam.
Take it from America's most revered messenger. Shorten your cold at the first sign with cold shortening products from Zicam, the #1 cold shortening brand. Available in stores or see where to buy at Zicam.com.
(281) 330-8004. Mac Jones.
This is San Jose Jazz fan, and I wake up with the Morning Joes, Spadoni and Shasky on 95.7 The Game. They're doing a great job.
Thanks, Jazz fan. I appreciate you.
He's also doing a good job.
He is.
I assume.
You know what? I think Mac Jones is going to do a good job this Sunday. I really do. The more I think about it, the more I'm liking the Niners in a blowout this Sunday. Put money on it, Carter. You won't.
Blowout?
Put money on it, Sam. You won't. You won't.
I will.
Thank you. I think it's going to not be offensive driven, but the defense is going to have their way with this Saints offense. I am very confident in that. If that's what I'm most confident that will happen this weekend between the Saints and Niners, it's that the Niners defense is going to dominate. I don't think that's a hot take at all. And we can throw it out to the phone lines. We got Curtis Deloach coming up here momentarily. 888-957-9570. What are you most confident with the 49ers this Sunday in New Orleans? What are you least confident about right now heading into this matchup? 10 a.m. on Sunday. Again, same time as Valkyries v. Lynx. So you better have the TV and the phone, the iPad, 2 TVs, whatever you're doing, got to be locked in. Maybe have you seen that meme with SpongeBob, his eyes are going 2 different ways?
That's going to be me.
You got to somehow do that. And then right after those games are done, you got Giants-Dodgers to wrap it up. So there you go. Robbie Ray, you said, v. Tyler Glasnow.
That will be the Sunday matchup, yes.
Can't wait for that. By the way, I mentioned it. Curtis Deloach going to be joining us here momentarily. And who is Curtis Deloach? Well, he scored the first touchdown in the Superdome post-Katrina. Obviously, the emotions that night were palpable. Monday Night Football, Mike Tirico on the call, ESPN, famously Steve Gleason with the block, but it was Deloach that recovered it in the end zone for the Saints against their rival Atlanta Falcons. So can't wait to talk to Curtis here momentarily. But what are you most confident in, Sam, heading into this matchup this Sunday for the 49ers? Is it the defense, like I said? And if it is the defense, we got breaking news? What
I guess that's sort of...
What?
Are we going to break it?
What happened?
Is it sort of breaking news? Is it broken news?
What happened?
Well, okay. Well, according to Jordan Schultz, kicker watch. Oh.
Thank you. Jesus. We just had an email about this yesterday. What's going on? Tell me.
So according to Jordan Schultz, kicker watch. Dun, 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 dun.
Thank you.
Jake Moody to the Bears.
Wow.
There you go.
Cairo Santos couldn't kick it out of the end zone. Jake Moody.
Cody Parkey 2.0.
Come on down, baby. Good for him. What did I say this morning, though? I thought Washington might have been able to call him after the doinks yesterday.
That would still be a step back for them.
Jake getting his... You know what? This is what I love about football. He's got an opportunity to silence the haters now in Chicago. I'm rooting for Jake Moody going forward. So much so that depending on this week, I might have to move off of Chris Boswell and get Jake Moody in fantasy. Just maybe.
Wait till you play me again in fantasy, so that way I can win that week. Were you kind of hoping that he would make it through waivers and have to go to the practice squad?
No, I wanted him to go to the Washington Commanders. He was going to get, someone was going to take him.
Debo was not going to let that happen.
Oh, stop.
No, I wanted him to go on the practice squad, so that way the Niners could practice missed kick drills.
I mean, Adam Peters was part of the regime a couple years ago that drafted him. Was he not? He was.
Okay, maybe Adam Peters is the reason he left the Niners because he just doesn't want to be around Jake Moody anymore.
Well, he's part of the reason he came in, is all I'm saying. So Jake Moody, good job. That was the breaking news. We definitely needed that. Eddie Pinheiro, though, that is a storyline none of us are talking about. What if it is a close game? Do we have confidence in the kicker, Eddie Pinheiro, to get it done?
Yeah, he'll get it done. Yeah, I've always Eddie Pinheiro. I've streamed him in fantasy a couple times, so I like to consider myself an Eddie Pinheiro expert. That's not at all how life works.
Is that the position you're most confident in for the 49ers this Sunday?
I have not felt this confident about a 49er field goal kick since going into that Browns game a couple of years ago.
There you go. By the way, we got him. All right.
Hell yeah.
Curtis Deloach joining us right here on the Morning Roast, courtesy of River Islands. As all guests on 95.7 The Game appear on the River Islands guest line, isn't it time for you to discover the island's River Islands in Lathrop? Former Saints defensive back who scored the first touchdown in the first game back in New Orleans post-Katrina, as it's been over 20 years now. Pretty incredible as the 49ers are getting ready to play down in New Orleans this Sunday, 10 o'clock start here on the West Coast. Mac Jones in for Brock Purdy. And Curtis, good morning. Joe Spadoni alongside Sam Lubman. And, can you kind of take us back? Because I don't know if you've watched it, but I'm sure, a lot of people have. There's this current Netflix documentary right now, just, kind of detailing all the horrific things that happened around New Orleans due to Hurricane Katrina, and the Superdome being a big part of that. And, that night, Monday Night Football, and that touchdown, it was probably the loudest I've ever even heard just sitting on a couch. I couldn't imagine what it was like being there in person, scoring that touchdown, Curtis. Just kind of take me through that entire, sequence and how it went down.
Good morning, fellas. How you doing, man? Thanks for having me. It's funny when I tell this story because on that actual play, we was actually, punt return. I wasn't even supposed to be out there on the field at that particular time. There was 10 guys on the field, and I just happened to be standing right there by the coach, and the coach just threw me in there. So, if you really go back and look at the tape, you see me running in late, didn't know what to do, just put my hand in the dirt, and the ball was there. But to take you back to that day, which is crazy, it's 20 years ago, you can feel the electricity in the city that day. Heading to the stadium, you can just feel it. We didn't know what to expect going out there, but once we got out there and started playing and running around, and when that play happened, that's the loudest I have ever seen, heard a crowd react to anything. And I'm kind of glad that they allowed us to celebrate as long as we did, because that's probably the longest touchdown celebration I ever seen. I scored a touchdown, dunked the field goal post, ran in the back of the end zone, pointed to the crowd, ran to the sideline, jumped in Joe Horn on. The celebration was amazing, but that's a feeling that I'll never be able to get back again, and experience I'll never experience again, man. But it was great.
Curtis, we think back to that team, that 2006 team. I remember watching that team that season, and just the run you guys had that year to the NFC title game, the performance that Drew Brees put up that year. He had his own comeback story that year, the same time that the city of New Orleans did, the same time that that Saints team did. Just talk about how that 2006 Saints team, how much that resonated with the city of New Orleans. And even though that team didn't win the Super Bowl, they ended up winning the Super Bowl a couple years later. Where does that team kind of sit in the overall history of the city of New Orleans?
Oh, it sits right there. It's got to be at least the top three, if not top five. Coming into that season, originally I wasn't in New Orleans that season. I was actually in New York, and they was trying to do a trade and everything, and the trade didn't fall through. So I was released and picked up by the Saints, and I can honestly tell you, I was like, I do not want to go here. They suck. Oh God, man. I get down there. It was after Hurricane Katrina. The city was still in, disarray. I didn't know no family, no nothing. But coming into that, Coach Payton's first year, it was Drew Brees coming off of an injury. there was a lot of new guys there. You still had some of the core guys there, but there was a lot of new guys there, a lot of new faces, a new situation with Hurricane Katrina. But Coach Payton and Drew Brees did a very, very good job of putting us together. And I think we had rallied off a couple of wins here and there. We had a big win in Green Bay, and that kind of sparked it. And was like, hey, guys, we might, have something here. And then after that, we just got rolling. But I think that team stands up there, at least in the top 5 in Saints history.
Talking about Curtis Deloach, your former Saints DB, scored the first touchdown back in New Orleans at the Superdome post-Katrina. And Curtis, it's, we're talking about, the football game. We're talking about Brock Purdy. He's hurt. Mac Jones is going to play. But, that was real life stuff that happened. And sometimes we have to take a step back and find that sports brings us all together in a way that's unifying, and it's great. And, it must feel pretty good to be able to, walk around wherever you are in New Orleans. I don't know if you live there or whatever. And, do you ever get stopped on the street and say, oh, Curtis, what's up, man? Does that ever happen to you?
Yeah. So the funny thing about it is I actually live in Charlotte, North Carolina, but I do get back to New Orleans at least 2 or 3 times a year. We actually have alumni weekend coming up in December. So when I go down there, my face, back then I had hair, right now I'm bald-headed right now. So when I go down there, say if I go to a restaurant or something, they may not know me by face, but once I say my name and my last name, they kind of stare at me and be like, wait a minute, are you the Curtis Deloach that scored the first touchdown? And I'm like, yes, that's me. And then after that, everything is, up. I get anything I want pretty much when I go down there. But
it's all in the house.
Some people do recognize me by face, which is amazing. It's pretty cool. My kids get to see that and get to experience that, so it's a pretty cool thing. And I'm just blessed and happy that I'm able to be in Saints history for that.
Yeah, no, Curtis, you kind of talked about what happened on that play there, how you came in at the last second to go and get that block, but I want to take it a little bit deeper here. You score, you block the punt, you take the ball into the end zone, you're standing in the end zone. What's going through your mind in that moment as you're standing in the end zone? You realize you scored. Just take us through what you remember that you were thinking in that moment.
Man, that it was unreal, that it wasn't real. The first thing I thought was, did I actually score? I looked over to my left to see, and the referee was throwing the touchdown signs up. And after that, I really was trying to find my family, which I don't know why I thought I would be able to find my family in that crowd. And after that, for some reason, I don't know why I ran past and dunked the field goal post like that. I have no idea. I can't tell you. It was an out-of-body experience. I had no pre-celebration drawn up or anything, man. It was just an unreal out-of-body experience that I always remember, always cherish, and something I'll always be able to talk about. I actually scored a touchdown in an NFL game, and that dramatic of a touchdown as well.
Curtis, it's a great celebration, by the way. Someone who touched rim in high school, I could only imagine doing that on the crossbar for a touchdown. Obviously, we can't talk about that play without bringing up Steve Gleason. Obviously, with the block, what he has done. Obviously, since then being diagnosed with ALS, trying to raise money through the Team Gleason Foundation, all of that. Do you keep in touch with Steve and your relationship with him, if you can speak to that?
So a lot of the foundation things that Steve does, they still contact me, either through email, through text, or phone. I try to get down as much as possible to support him. Anytime he has an event, I try to get down there. His life, I hate it, but he's actually doing great things, and he has a great support system around him. The Saints actually do a very good job of keeping everybody in contact with each other, especially when it comes to that 2016 with Steve Gleason. So, like I said, I'm just blessed and happy that I'm able to be a part of that. But I try, like I said, 2 or 3 times a year to get down there. And if he has an event, he typically has an event most of the time during alumni weekend and right around Super Bowl time, and I try to get down there.
Hey, Curtis, hey, great stuff. That's awesome. We really appreciate you hopping on this morning with such short notice. It's like 20 years. It's pretty incredible just to think about that. And it does almost like it's because it's such a big deal. It feels like it was yesterday, but the fact that 20 years has passed, just incredible. And that moment will never be forgotten in Saints history. All that being said, Niner fans are hoping they get the win on Sunday with Mac Jones as the quarterback. So there you go. Hey, Curtis, we appreciate it, man.
Hey, appreciate it for having me. I really do. Thank y'all, man. Be safe.
There you
Thank
go.
you, Curtis.
Curtis Delo, former Saints DB, scored the first touchdown back at the Superdome post Katrina. And you know what?
We have the play, right?
We have the play, and I want to play it right now because if this is what you're remembered for most, I think most players would take that.
Michael Kanan, who has made a headline for missing 6 of his 8 field goal attempts this year, is now back to just punting and kicking off. The former Saint Morton Anderson is here for most field goals. Look out! Right through! A kick block by Steve Gleason. It is scooped and scored by Curtis Deloach. Touchdown, New Orleans!
And that sound would go on for, a minute. It felt like 10 minutes. Felt like forever, but it was a great call from Mike Tirico, ESPN, who let the crowd breathe after that, and Curtis Deloach, Steve Gleason being etched in Saints lore forever for that, Sammy. So pretty incredible. And like you were talking about it off air, like when you think of inspirational teams and moments, I mean, how could that not be one of the greatest in like American sports history?
Oh, it's
Absolutely.
up there. I mean, that 2006 Saints team was just like I was a fan of that Saints team that year, mainly because my other option was the Andrew Walter led 2-14 Raiders, so I'm going to pass on that.
I could root for Peyton Manning. They finally got over the hump that year.
No, that was
Colts.
that was very fun. Yeah, that was just a very fun football season because there was a lot of guys who you wanted to root for who had great years. Yeah. Drew Brees, who no one really even knew anything about him. I always remember there was that one fantasy football commercial where it was just like before the season, the guy's like, "Oh, of course I didn't take Drew Brees. What do you think I am, an idiot?" And then Drew Brees ends up having one of the great seasons, and it's one of the great careers. Obviously, that was the start that year. That was such an incredible team to watch, though, that year in 2006, and they're a very, very, very easy team to root for, and it really is a shame that they weren't able to beat Rex Grossman and the Bears in that NFC title game, which, losing to Rex Grossman, that's a wild thing
is
to say.
one of the all-time...
Rex Grossman was in the Super Bowl.
But that's one of the all-time defenses we don't talk about enough.
Yeah.
That 06 Bears, if they had any other quarterback, they're winning that Super Bowl. Peyton Manning did not have a good Super Bowl that day.
No.
And they had the Devin Hester opening field goal. That was a great moment, but that Saints season... That Saints season, Sammy.
One of the most, that's an incredibly inspirational year. And I'm trying to think about, what's a team here in the Bay Area that maybe if they didn't win a championship, we're still one of the more inspiring teams in terms of just, how much they uplifted the fan base or how much they excited the fan base or how much they resonated with the fan base, And as we talk Saints Niners, I think that 2011 Niner team, Jim Harbaugh's first year, because you remember, Spadoni, that was their first really good year in about 5, 6, 7 years. The late 2000s, they were wandering the desert. Then Jim Harbaugh comes in with a collection of players that we all liked but just hadn't performed very well yet, and had one of the most just fun, enjoyable seasons we've ever seen from a Niner team. And it crescendoed with that divisional game against the Saints. And unfortunately, I was flying on a plane to Miami during that game. I literally took off about an hour or two before kickoff and landed to the news that, oh, hey, by the way, Niners won. So I missed that game in real time. I had to go back and watch it. But
was that your second semester?
That was, going back for the second half of my freshman year.
Look at him. Balling, dude.
Exactly. And again, you think of inspirational teams like that 2011 Niner team, I feel like reawoke the Niner fan base after years and years of slumber, and the juice around the fan base has been there ever since, even through the lean years that happened with Jim Tomsula and Chip Kelly. But sometimes, when you're in a just drought of misery, like the 49ers were, like the Raiders were for a while. I mean, that 2016 Raider team, if Derek Carr didn't break his leg, there's so much what could have been there.
Why do you gotta do that?
Oh, dude, it hurts me too. But teams like that just come out of nowhere after a long period of being down, there's just something special about those kind of teams. Even if they don't win the championship, that they're always going to resonate in your heart.
Yeah, and I think that's the easy way. If we're talking about like most inspirational teams of all time, like you could always go like, 2014-15 Warriors. Like, okay, great. Yeah, they won the whole thing, and it's their first title in 50 years or whatever it is. So like, I hear you on that, but it's the ones that are like, the ones that don't end with the ultimate goal.
We believe.
That
was another one. That was another one that first one, long drought, and it reawoke this Warriors fan base. And this fan base has been juiced ever since.
And something about this season with the Valkyries and the fact that it's an expansion season, their first ever season, and it's been sellout after sellout after sellout, nothing but support, nothing but just good energy and vibes whenever you go. I've been to a couple games this year. I'm 1-1. Don't worry. It's just been a vibe, and it's so unique, the crowd experience. If you haven't gone there, it's hard to describe, quite frankly, the noise level. As we're talking about the noise in the Superdome, the noise level at Valhalla is just different. And, everyone wants to poo-poo the WNBA and what it isn't. No, I'm talking about what it is. And it's been a vibe, and it's been fun, and it's been exciting, and it's been good basketball. And they're in the playoffs, and they have a chance to, shock the world and take out the number 1 seed starting 10 o'clock Sunday. Be locked in, all right? Download the Odyssey app, get that Valkyries tab, be locked in, because we're the home of the Valks, and we're going to be supporting them, taking on the Lynx, 10 a.m. this Sunday. I got a dual screen it, baby, all right? Got the Niners, Saints, and I got the Valkyries, Lynx right there. Why not the Valkyries? And they have a chance, even if they don't, win this series, we're going to remember this season for a very, very, very long time. So we're talking about most inspirational seasons or years in sports. What say you, fan bases out there? 888-957-9570. We're getting a lot of 1980 Winter Olympics. Do you believe in miracles?
Of course, that's a great call. Is that what, YouTube chat or text line? That sounds like a text
Boxer
line.
Boxer and Gerson work injury.
Yeah, no, I wonder if the YouTube chat even has anything useful to contribute there.
Damn.
Nope. Oh, no, here we go.
Jesus.
94 Sharks, actually.
That's a good one.
That's a great one. They beat the Red Wings in the first round of the playoffs. We talk about non-traditional rivalries. Sharks-Red Wings was that rivalry for a hot minute in the late 2000s there.
You know what is a good rivalry? It's me versus Fast Five.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good rivalry. I guess that doesn't make sense, really, but yeah. And yes, the rivalry is me getting to the Open on time. That's the rivalry between me and Fast Five and finishing up the show. But the show.
I was going to say something snarky, but I'm not.
The show's not over after Fast Five today because we've got.
Yeah, because we're hitting it early right now.
We got the crossover coming up here in about 10 minutes with Steiny and Goo. But first,
Steiny's so stoked to join us.
First, we got to get our final thoughts of the show today, Sammy. Do you want to kick us off? You want to kick us into high gear?
I'm going to kick us off, and as my shirt says here, let's keep calm and hate the Dodgers. This is the biggest Giants-Dodgers series we have had since that Labor Day weekend series back in 2021. Giants fans, we need to show out this weekend. Let's take our ballpark back. Don't let those blue people in. Keep them outside where they belong. And
I'm blue.
I'm gonna do a little bit of a call out here.
Whoa.
Dear Rafi Devers, this weekend, this is your moment.
Wow, he's calling out Rafi Devers to officially become a San Francisco Giant. I think he's become a Giant like 3 or 4 times.
He said that he wants to make all teams miserable. Remember, I asked him, Spinoni, are you ready to make the Dodgers miserable? And he gave a very PC answer, if I'm going to make all teams miserable. Yeah, know what, Rafi? I need you to make the Dodgers miserable this weekend. And you know what? I think he will.
You know what? Also, I was actually just looking at the schedule this weekend. Giants fans should also be A's fans this weekend.
Good call.
The Cincinnati Reds have a 3-game set up in Sacramento.
Let's go, Nick Kurtz.
There you go. Nicholas Kurtz.
Sacktown,
there
baby.
You go. The big Amish, they call him. Churning that butter. He's incredible, by the way. That guy's insane. Lawrence Butler
has he taken the Rookie of the Year from Jacob Wilson?
Yeah, that's not even close anymore.
Wow.
You're talking about Nick Kurtz being if he played the entire season, same MVP conversation.
Yeah, he hit his 30th home run, right?
He would have been up there with the big dumper and Aaron Judge. Yeah, he's up there in the 30s already in the home runs. He is incredible, and you're hoping that he's going to be incredible if you're a Giants fan this weekend, as the Cincinnati Reds are currently tied in the standings with the Giants at 74 and 72.
And the way that tiebreaker works, if those two teams are tied at the end of the year, it'll go to divisional record. Reds, final 13 games of the year against their entire division. Giants, obviously, we have the Dodgers for 7, Diamondbacks, and Rockies. So, listen, I said this, by the way, new episode, Garlic Fries and Baseball, guys. Steven Risotto and I recorded last night. We break down some of the playoff scenarios. I think 84 wins could be enough for the Giants.
Ooh.
I think so. It's very doable. They have to go 10-6 the rest of the way. Mets need to keep floundering. And hopefully if the A's can take 2 or 3 from the Reds this weekend, at minimum, that puts a lot of pressure on Cincinnati as well. It's a very realistic path to the playoffs, Giants
Reds
fans.
got their big boys pitching this weekend, so it's going to be tough. But it is a minor league ballpark, so we'll see. And the A's do hit very well at home there. Their pitching is not very good, though. Brady Singer, Hunter Green, and Nick Lodolo on deck there. Carter, anything?
Yeah, I'm going to give a shout out to the Valkyries. Big game, 10 a.m. Sunday. You can find it here on the Odyssey app for free. And, man, you know why I really want the Valkyries to win? We need some revenge for Steph Curry.
Great point.
I like that.
I mean, as an avid Warriors fan, I want some blood in Minnesota right now, honestly. Like, we got to get them up there. So, let's get some revenge for Steph.
I'm just going to do what Steph wants me
You
to
think
do.
Ant-Man's going to be courtside?
He better be. Pods would be.
Pods would be.
Carlite, she's dropping a 30 bomb.
Oh, my goodness. Hey, I'm going to be locked in. Valkyries v. Lynx, game 1 of the WNBA playoffs. That's right. The Valks made it. They're going to be locked and loaded 10 a.m. Sunday. You better be too. That was Fast 5, brought to you by Xfinity, introducing the 5-year price guarantee. One consistent internet price for the next 5 years. Guaranteed. The crossover with Steiny and Guru is next, and it's brought to you by Fremont Bank. Here for you. Here for good, Carter.
Hey, it's Willard Dibs for Safeway. Enjoy these amazing deals for Safeway members. And as always, save up to 20% weekly on hundreds of exclusive offers with For You on the Safeway app. Here we go. USDA Choice Boneless Beef Tri-Tip Roast Untrimmed Twin Pack, just $6.99 per pound. Pairs well with Decoy Cabernet Sauvignon. What doesn't? 750 milliliter bottles for just $15.54 each, or mix and match 6 or more for just $13.99 each, plus CRV.
Exclusive digital coupon on a dozen Lucerne cage-free eggs, large grade AA, just $3.97 each, limit 1.
Did you say a dozen eggs?
I said a dozen eggs.
For $3.97?
I did.
Excellent.
Excellent. Another exclusive digital coupon on Lucerne chunk or shredded cheese, 32-ounce selected varieties, just $5.97 each, limit 4.
All right. The app is simple to use, makes it easy to save money. Go to Safeway.com for more details, and we'll see you in the aisles.
Don't let pneumococcal pneumonia break your stride. If you're 50 or older, you're at increased risk. So be proactive with Capvaxive pneumococcal 21-valent conjugate vaccine to help protect against invasive pneumococcal disease and pneumonia caused by certain types of pneumococcal bacteria. Capvaxive helps protect against the strains of bacteria that cause about 30% more IPD cases than any other pneumococcal conjugate vaccine in adults over 50, according to national-level CDC stats. Regional variations may exist. Don't get Capvaxive if you're allergic to the vaccine or its ingredients. Tell your doctor if you have a weakened immune system. Common side effects include injection site reactions, feeling tired, headache, muscle aches, and fever. Capvaxive does not protect against all strains. For more information, call 1-800-927-8888 or visit capvaxive.com. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Capvaxive. Need help paying for your Merck vaccine? Visit merckhelps.com. Sponsored by Merck.
For all contest rules, go to 957thegame.com/rules.
When back to the office means back in traffic.
Vehicle that smacked into the guardrail.
Turn to the traffic leader, KCBS.
But word of a crash there.
Act fast. Get your new Honda Prologue before the $7,500 federal EV tax credit expires September 30th. Brought to you by your Northern California Honda dealer.
The broken coffee maker? That one's still on you, which means you'll save hundreds for your business and get the fastest mobile service with 5G cellular and Wi-Fi hotspots on us. But hurry, this deal won't last long. Get a mobile plan and free up the budget to maybe, I don't know, fix that coffee maker? Get mobile on us for 1 year, you guessed it, on us. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 10/9/25. Restrictions apply. New mobile customers only with internet standard service or above. Limited to value of one unlimited intro line apply via 12 monthly internet bill credits. One discount per account. Fastest mobile based on mobile Wi-Fi and cellular data in service areas. Ookla Speed Test Intelligence 2H24.
Injured at work? Don't wait. Every moment counts. You may be entitled to medical care and financial compensation, but time matters. The attorneys at Boxer & Gerson are here to protect your rights and fight for the treatment and support you need. Boxer & Gerson have helped thousands of people across Northern California who were hurt on the job. Don't wait, don't guess. Get answers. Call Boxer & Gerson today at 510-835-8870 or visit boxerlaw.com for a free consultation. Boxer & Gerson, your life is worth the fight.
Game day just got an upgrade. Whether you're gearing up or winding down, Westfield Valley Fair is your go-to spot. Hit the latest gear at Shoe Palace, grab bold bites at Shake Shack and Eataly, and catch the action on big screens at King's Fish House. From premium shopping to epic eats and entertainment, make every football Sunday legendary. Westfield Valley Fair, where football fans fuel up in style.
I'm Jenna Fisher.
And I'm Angela Kinsey.
And together we have the podcast Office Ladies.
Just because we finished rewatching The Office does not mean we're going anywhere.
Every Wednesday, we'll be sharing even more exclusive stories from The Office and our friendship with brand new guests. Plus, you can revisit all the Office Ladies rewatch episodes every Monday with new bonus tidbits before every episode.
So follow and listen to Office Ladies on the free Odyssey app and wherever you get your podcasts.
Oh, no.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
My debit card.
their debit card.
Where'd I leave that thing?
Not at the gas pump, or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my card.
Yep, just a few tippy taps on his phone, and that sound, that's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
Introducing the new Dell AI PC powered by the Intel Core Ultra processor. It helps do your busy work for you, so you can fast forward through editing images, designing presentations, generating code, debugging code, summarizing meeting notes, finding files, managing a schedule, and responding to Jim's long emails. Leaving all the time in the world for the things you actually want to do. No offense, Jim. Get a new Dell AI PC at dell.com/AI-PC. How those ahead stay ahead.
Now back to the morning roast.
A lot of people wait to hate. They cheer when they're drinking the beer. I want you to keep that same energy when we win that chip this year.
With Joe Spadoni and Joe Shasky on 95.7 The Game.
Lubman in for Shasky today. Get better, Joe. He's gone. He gone. But let's make sure.
Wait to be introduced.
Well, can we wait till both their mics are on too? Because I don't think anyone just heard both of those.
I got worried too.
We got Guru and Steiny for the first iteration. We're doing this every Friday going forward at this time.
Yeah.
Our own crossover with Steiny and Guru. How we doing, boys?
We got cranky, Steiny. Just put the rat on the table
But it's
early.
a payday Friday.
I
Why?
don't know what's up with him. You look good.
It's not cranky, Steiny. It's just something's going to happen.
Just
today.
Steiny?
Something's going to happen.
Just Steiny,
I don't know what.
Steiny being
I can
Steiny.
just feel it.
You guys are on fire.
Something's happened. We're all chatting here in this room together like really happy coworkers. That's the dream, isn't it, Steiny?
Well, ideally, Shasky would be here. But we'll take you.
Jesus.
We'll take you.
just crushed lemon.
I'm trying to
I think we're putting out a better product here, but hey, everyone's got to be a critic. Look at me, I'm Matt Steinmetz. I wear glasses.
I'm trying to play the role of Dan Dibley here today. Who's going to be Willard to start?
Oh, okay. Yeah. In the
I thought
morning,
you don't want to set the bar higher?
Yeah, there we go. All right. Well, we don't want to talk over each other. How about we do that? Well, hey, let me throw you this, both of you. So it's 10 o'clock Sunday. We've got Valkyries Lynx. I know. It's a playoff. We're the home of the Valkyries, Steiny.
Yes, sir.
All right? But we also got Niners Saints. What's on the TV? What's on the iPad? I'm putting you on the spot, Steiner.
I'm watching the Niners.
Where?
At home.
At the TV or the
Actually, no, Dana's opening this week.
Is he open?
I'll be over there.
Is that an invite?
I
ain't coming.
Yeah,
I like to watch by myself.
Well, no, I got to watch the football.
Okay, but on your phone, you're going to have the Valkyries,
Or
right?
an iPad, laptop.
Sure.
There you
I'll
go.
have it on.
You'll be locked in. Target Center,
And that's
Gil.
game one, right?
Game one.
Okay.
Odyssey app, Valkyries tab. It's free. Lock in because it's
monitor
huge.
that game for sure.
We Believe? Got We Believe vibes there? Huh?
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
Number 1 seed, Minnesota
No
Lynx.
wonder Sam asked me before the show what the most inspirational team I've ever seen has
I heard
been.
that question, and you just Did he answer, Sam?
Well, so what happened was
he just walked off.
Well, no, because I asked him as he was walking down the hall, which, I caught him in passing, which it happens here at the station. He's walking down the hall towards the kitchen. I could see the gears clicking. He's thinking of an answer. He's about to turn to go to the bathroom. He clearly couldn't think of an answer, so then he just punted, which, you know what? I put him on the spot. That's a big question to ask. He tried to answer it, and he was honest. I got nothing. And then he walked off. You know what? I appreciate the honesty of all those actions.
Well, now
Steiny.
I've had more time to think. Too.
Oh, so we have an answer now?
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
With several answers. Absolutely, the 20, I think it was 21 Atlanta Hawks that found their way in the Eastern Conference Finals. Spadone, remember that? They're gutsy.
Why was that inspirational?
Oh, because they were underdogs. They were like a 6 seed, and they got all the way to the Eastern
you just
Conference
said 6
Finals.
seed. That is not that much of like.
Oh, it's a great run. 6 seed, I believe, Joe, is the biggest long shot champion we've ever had in our league, right?
I mean, maybe.
Houston
Well,
Rockets?
in the NBA, yeah.
Good.
Sure.
What was yours?
I wasn't alive then. So.
Okay.
It could. I'll tell you what it could be. The team that hosts the Dodgers tonight. If this thing, there should be a case study on what the Mets are not doing, but the bottom line is the beneficiaries right now are the Reds and Giants. But it could be this giant team. But other than that, is we believe. And Steiny, you're poking me early, and I feel like if you went to Kaiser and did a blood test, they would come back and say, Matt, you got guru-itis. So something's going to pop off. We're just doing that early. But about your earlier question, Spadone, I got to ask, it's not 1940. We're in the era of multiple TVs. Yeah. I'm watching the Vows. I'm watching all of it. And YouTube TV with the NFL Sunday Ticket, the Lubman, they put 4 games together. You got to up your TV screen game. But I will say this, as excited as I am for the Valkyries, they've earned this. Who decided let's start our playoffs up against the Shield? I'll be quiet.
I mean,
come on now, guys.
It says it all right there. Like,
Not
talk
the
to me.
wisest move.
well, even if it was later at night, that would just be one game on Sunday Night Football would have been okay. And again, we're all going to be locked in. We're the home of the Valkyries. That was standing. But if you want to capture an audience, if you're the WNBA,
Saturday maybe.
This is. Every single home game of this Valkyries team was sold out.
Oh, my God.
They got a fan base. You're going to get eyeballs. But you got to think, how many of those Valkyries fans are also 49er fans? They're also
multiple screens, but I get you.
But that's what I'm saying. I just want to have it one screen. I would like to do that. We're all going to be locked in. It's going to be great. I'm giving them a puncher's chance. Why not?
Nafisha Collier, can they knock her off?
We'll see. A-Rod's going to be courtside, though. You think Ant-Man's going to be courtside, too?
Ant-Man taking batting practice. I was kind of impressed.
What?
Chalk one up for the brothers with a bat.
I mean, we've seen
hit.
Pajemski do it. He says
he was knocking him out of there.
Well, he thinks he can play.
Oh, no, he has to wait till he's 40 years old, though.
Well, you know what? I'm not mad at that. So you said inspirational teams. We just had Curtis Deloach on. If you don't know who he is, obviously you guys know who Steve Gleason is. He had the blocked punt first game back post-Katrina at the Superdome once upon a time. That was 19 years ago in 2006.
Wow.
But Deloach is the one that recovered it in the end zone for the touchdown. So that's how we kind of got on the inspirational teams. Like that 06 Saints squad, right? What they represented for that city.
Yes.
You can never kind of replicate that again, even though they did win a Super Bowl a couple years later. So if you guys want to throw them out in the text line, 888-957-9570. We got 1980 Winter Olympics, Steiny. Do you believe in miracles? Yes.
Al Michaels.
Was that inspirational?
Yes. That's probably the first or second.
Yeah?
Yes. No doubt about it. I can remember where I was.
Really?
Yeah.
Was that because I obviously...
Was it 1980?
Yeah, I was negative
16.
13
I was
years
16.
old.
I remember exactly where I was.
You were 16.
At the Shuttlesworth's family friend. We were watching it in the basement.
Did you play hockey at all as a kid?
No. Street hockey.
Oh, okay.
Street
That
hockey.
counts.
Absolutely.
Like rollerblades or?
No.
Just like running around the
sticks.
OG street hockey.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Mac Jones? You in on Mac Jones?
Are you inspired by Mac Jones?
I'm inspired by the opponent, the New Orleans Saints. Oh, yeah, they're going to be good this year. Mac Jones can go down there and win a game.
Okay.
That's all. I mean,
it's not that hot of a take. I mean, Spencer Rattler and Kellen Moore on the other side. I hear you on that. But how's it going to look, Steiny? He doesn't have
17-13. It's going to look exactly like week 1.
Yeah,
I think this is going to be a blowout, quite frankly.
Really?
Yes. I don't think the Saints are going to be able to do anything on the Niners defense, quite frankly. I don't fear Chris Olave. I don't fear Alvin Kamara. Brandon Cooks is 50 years old. And Spencer Rattler, quite frankly, I think he stinks.
And I'll say this to that, and I love your confidence, but the bottom line is I'm with Steiny. I expect him to go down and handle business. But, guys, I don't want to go dental on you. But the Niners season already has been a root canal. This is not how you drew it up. And with your bravado, I get it, Spadoni and Steiny, but at the end of the day, this thing has all the ingredients to go left if the O-line turns into performance, including Trent Williams, that they did against Seattle. And it's just like how after one game, Brock Purdy's the hero, deserves all of it. And now, Lubman, we get the 2-5. Like, maybe I need to get past that and have some therapy, Steiny, after at the cafeteria, but I just can't get past no Kittle and no Brock. That's just, come on, man.
But one thing you are going to have is a ball going through the uprights on kicks this week. Let's not forget the points that you lost last week. That was 6 points you lost last week that you're going to have this week for since you no longer have current Bears legend Jake Moody. You guys saw that Jake Moody is signed by the Bears.
Practice squad, by the way. It was practice squad.
So the Bears can do what I want the Niners to do, which is practice their missed kick drills. But yeah, you got a good, solid kicking game now with Eddie Pinheiro. That's going to add some scoring there. But this is an old Saints team that is the Saints are shooting for a top 5 pick. This is not a serious team that is trying to win serious football games. Spencer Rattler stinks. He is a booty quarterback. This is a defense that should absolutely shut this Saints team down. Will they rip up a big playoff? Probably. It's the NFL. Alvin Kamara, he is that dude. They got to shut him out. I mean, I would be surprised if they shut him out, but not like shocked. No, I mean, Steiny, you say 17-13. Honestly, I think 24-13 is also very much in the realm of possibility. This is a game that even with Kittle out, even with Brock out, with Jawan Jennings, he's TBD. It don't matter. This is a game that the Niners...
So no style points. Just get the dub.
Just get the dub, and honestly, they have enough tools in their toolbox to pull this out.
Goo, how big of a drop-off is it from Purdy to Jones, you think? You think it's a massive one? We had Jermaine Wiggins on, former tight end, won a Super Bowl, WEI in Boston, their show. He said it's significant. He said massive, actually, was the actual quote. Massive drop-off from Purdy to Jones. I feel like that's pretty strong.
It is, but I'll say this to that. If we go back to the draft before everybody was proven wrong and we went into a lab and you wanted to create, traits or characteristics of a quarterback, Mac Jones would be my guy over Purdy. And that played out in the draft. But you talk about Purdy's Wi-Fi, his ability to read and get rid of the rock. And Mac Jones, he's earned the bad part of what he's done as a starting quarterback. You look at his record, and I told Willard and Dibs and Steiny, and I believe this, you are a product of your environment. But what I don't like about Mac Jones is he's not that mobile like Brock Purdy. So the Saints D, they're not bums. They sacked Kyler Murray 5 times, and I know he runs into sacks. But again, if they can get active and Mac Jones is sort of, the Statue of Liberty, then you got problems. But you asked me a question, and I'll say this. One guy's got to 2 NFC championship games and minutes from a Super Bowl victory in Brock Purdy. So I got to put respect on his name and say there is some drop-off, but mechanically and physically, is there really?
So, Steiny, I was thinking about this too, and it's a great point. But also, conversely, if those quarterbacks were switched their scenarios, let's say that it was Mac Jones who started his career with the 49ers and Brock Purdy started with the Patriots, I think it'd be very similar to where both those quarterbacks and how we view them are now. Does that sound insane?
I wonder about that, to tell you the truth, because he would have had, so Brock Purdy in theory would have had Belichick.
He would have had Josh McDaniels as his OC and Belichick as his head coach.
And then Matt Patricia.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
The guy who
pencil ear
uses a pencil on a laminated play card.
I don't really.
That's great.
I don't. If you're asking me what's the difference between Mac Jones and Brock Purdy, I'd say that's what we're going to find out. Like I was telling Guru this yesterday on the show. I feel like Mac Jones is in a way the quintessential average quarterback. He doesn't do anything great, but he's okay. And so I want to see what Kyle Shanahan makes a guy like him look like over the next 2 or 3 games. And then you can kind of compare it to Purdy and see, oh, you know what? Now I know why Purdy's a lot better than Mac Jones, or now I know what the difference is between Purdy and Mac Jones. I have a feeling it's going to be a lot of mobility, but I also want to see the accuracy and just kind of the poise, because I think Purdy's got a lot of those things.
By the way, what if I told you at their combine that Mac Jones had a faster 40-yard dash? Would you believe me?
I would believe you, but it's that first step that I feel like Purdy's really he's got that quick first step, and he's elusive, and he gets a little bit of a head start.
So it's that 10-yard split that you're talking about, probably. Yeah, that's the biggest gap of their combine. I know, I'm going deep dive here on the combine. But Mac Jones in his 10-yard split ran a 1.70, and Brock Purdy is 1.55. But the 40-yard dash, Mac Jones did have it by 0.02. So very comparable there. But the shiftiness in the pocket, I'm with you there. They're both going to make mistakes. I think Mac, unfortunately, has a lot more boneheaded plays in his tenure. So we look at him kind of like how we looked at Sam Darnold like before last year. It was like, he sees ghosts. He makes boneheaded plays. We all kind of laughed at him this past week, Goo. But that's kind of what I'm viewing like Mac Jones this year. Just give him competent coaching like he had in his first year in New England. He'll be fine.
Yes, and I know this is not Soul Train, but I got to go here. I look at Kyle Shanahan and quarterbacks like Dr. Dre. He got Snoop Dogg, Eminem, 50 Cent. How was their career? Oh, my gosh. Then they kind of went different ways without Dre. It's like, oh, boy, what happened? And I look at Kyle to quarterbacks like that. Look what he did to Jimmy. Almost got him a bowl. Got him to 2 NFC championship games. Look what he's done for Brock. So why didn't that work with Brandon Allen? It's not Kyle, right? It's kind of, it's Brandon Allen. Why didn't that work with Beathard or Mullins? So I'm eager to see, can he get Mac Jones platinum, for however many games
because he was in Sam. Because Brandon Allen's a 6th-round pick. C.J. Beathard was a 3rd-round pick. Like, say what you will about Mac Jones, Sam Darnold. They were 1st-round talents.
Yeah,
that matters. Jimmy Garoppolo was a, 2nd-round talent. So 1st and 2nd, a lot different than 6th round. I know, Mr. Irrelevant.
I was about to go there.
I know.
Right.
But that's an exception, not the rule.
Correct, Sam. There you go.
And Dibs said he caught a stray, Steiny, so he heard you.
About
what? Anyway, go ahead.
Dan Dibley here. Squirt.
So Dibs caught a stray?
Yeah.
So that makes it 693 to 4?
It's okay, Dibs. I got my first Steiny stray today, too. So,
you did get
we're all learning here. Yeah, I'm still icing that burn there. Ideally, we'd have Shasky.
Was it easy E stray day, meant easy pay day? Anything like that? Come on, as it all comes back to
it. It was an easy pay day fight. But again, you talk about, Kyle with these quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And, why I feel optimistic with Mac is because we had Mia O'Brien on yesterday. She covers the Jaguars out there for ESPN Radio. She knows everything about that team up and down. So she knew what she saw from Mac Jones last year, and her takeaway was, Mac Jones is every quarterback that has succeeded with Kyle Shanahan in his system. I compare Mac, his ability to win is going to be very similar to how the 49ers probably won with Jimmy, because Jimmy obviously was not a guy who can run. He had kind of the stone feet thing going there. Mac Jones, same thing. I think the winning, it will look somewhat similar. I don't know if Mac Jones really needs to put this team on his back and carry it, because Jimmy never really did that, yet it was still able to work out. You have talent around him, granted, offensively, not as much, but the talent is still there. I mean, McCaffrey, Robinson, Pearsall, those are still 3 very good playmakers that you can rely on there. But the talent on the defense is there enough to where that should be able to clean up at least 1 or 2 of Mac Jones's mistakes. Like, this offense the Saints have, it's just stale looking enough that even with this young Niners team that is playing with a lot of heart and a lot of energy right now, shout out Robert Saleh for providing that. Like, at the end of the day, this is a far more talented team, the Niners, than what they're going to be seeing on the field down there at the Superdome.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGNZ FM and HD1 San Francisco, and Odyssey Sports Station in the home of the Golden State Warriors and Valkyries. Always live in the free Odyssey app, coming to you live from the Laughing Monk Studios. And Sam Lubman alongside me, filling in for Shasky, rocking that Giants jersey. We haven't really talked about him yet, boys, but a massive series starting today. Verlander v. Yamamoto. All right, I'm gonna ask you both this question. What's more likely when we're talking on Monday, that the Niners got the win in New Orleans or that the Giants got the series win against the Dodgers? Which one of these is more likely?
That's a great question.
Let's start with you, Steiny.
49ers get a win.
Yeah, just a win?
Yeah.
More likely?
Yeah, that's what I think is more likely. It's going to be tough for the Giants to take 2 or 3. Not saying they can't do it. Who do the Mets play? The Cubs?
The Mets
Rangers, actually.
Oh, that's right, the Rangers.
Then they have Bochy is hot. They're hot.
Yeah, so
that's a 2.
The thing about the hole that the Giants dug themselves is, they've done a nice job to get to 1.5, but this is one where Mets win 2 and you lose 2 and it's over. Pretty much. So the Giants still got to be close to perfect, and what I mean by that is that if and when they lose, the Mets lose too. But they're closer than I thought they'd get, that's for sure.
Well, you go.
Yeah.
More likely.
No, I'm with Steiny. It's not even close because the Dodgers are the Dodgers, and maybe just seeing the Giant uniform, and they want to play spoilers to what the Giants are trying to do, so maybe they don't see them in the playoffs. But that's a task. I'm going to put respect on what the Dodgers are, and then I think about that last series before the All-Star game where they ripped the hearts out of the Giants, and the Giants were at fault for that. But the Niners, just the fact that you got the SF on that helmet, you're 1-0, you're wounded, you should be able to win this game.
By the way, your boy Micah looked incredible last night.
I mean, did he really, or are we just thirsty for headlines?
He was in Jaden Daniels' grill the entire game.
But if you look at the stat line, Steiny and Loveman, now the stat line didn't play that out. He didn't have forget the stats. He looked incredible. We're just drunk on the trade, and everybody wants to give a winner.
No.
But I'm just like,
I don't know, man.
That
looked like a Packers team that is going to be running things in. That looked like
is this what we're doing?
The Packers look like a team based off this 2-game sample size.
That's right.
That is going to be running the NFC this year. It's the Packers and the Eagles right now. They meet on November 10th on Monday Night Football in Green Bay.
Yeah.
That's going to be a very, very fun matchup there. I can see both teams coming in with maybe 1 or 2 losses apiece. And we're going to find out who really runs the NFC, at least in the regular season so far. But that Micah trade, even if he doesn't, even if he doesn't put up numbers in the stat sheet, and I think sometimes you want guys to do that. Sometimes there's the underlying metrics. Just the energy boost that a guy like Micah gives a team that talented like the Packers. Like you talk about the intangibles, like everyone in that Packers facility is walking with a pep in their step the minute Micah gets there.
You heard the fans saying, thank you, Jerry.
Thank you, Jerry
was
He loved it, too. Every single second
you
of
think
it.
he did?
Oh, no, he was like, he was bobbing his head to it.
Oh, Micah. Jerry might have loved it, too. People are saying
well, he's a sadist, too, so he probably loved that stuff.
Well, Jerry just likes people saying his name.
Well, Steiny, I'll ask you this. Like, watching that game last night, how you were locked in. You're always locked in on Thursday Night Football. Austin Eckler, non-contact Achilles.
Jesus.
I mean, if you're a Niner fan, you're watching that saying, you got a little scared, right? I mean, come on. How could you not get a little scared? He's 30 years old.
I thought the 49ers were the only team that have injuries.
Nobody said that.
Pretty much that's the consensus.
No, the 49ers have the most injuries.
And we're in
every other team gets
in the history of football.
Every other team gets 1 or 2 injuries a year. The Niners get 1 or 2 injuries a game.
Yeah, that's a herder. I mean, he's going to be out all year. I think I'm not a huge fan of him, though. I think he's on the downside.
Austin Eckler?
Yeah.
Who's that guy?
I was talking to Evan about him this morning.
Well, he was the number 2. Who's the guy? That guy Bill now, who's got like 3 different names.
Jackery Krosky Merritt.
Exactly. This is too much. That's too much for me. He just goes by Bill. Oh, what do you guys got coming up today? What are you guys doing?
Goo? What are you doing?
We got my acting. Episode 3. That'll be 1 o'clock hour.
Wait, acting?
I know you're acting.
Sorry.
Well, thanks for listening to the show, teammates.
And 1 o'clock is my nap time, so.
Yeah. Dude, I
got my naps timed out, bro.
With the Odyssey app. Yeah, we got that, and then we'll discuss just, you ever have a take?
I have.
And you're in the car, and you go back and it's game film. Steiny doesn't do this. I do it, and I listen to our show, and I'm like, man, you stepped on Steiny. You could have been better. But yesterday I thought about Trent Williams, and I don't like the fact that the Niners allow him, and he's a vet, and I get it, allow him to sit on his ass at the joint practice, mucking it up with the old lineman from the Denver Broncos.
I was there.
My inside sources gave me that.
I was there.
And Loveman, he doesn't have the best game Sunday, but it's like he has a license to use the first 2 or 3 games to get in shape. And I'm like, this team can't afford that. Yep. So I'm looking at him like, you better be on your P's and Q's come Sunday for the backup quarterback, because you can. And then he came out the game Sunday. So had that been a loss, man, we'd be talking about a lot of other stuff. But I patted myself on the back for calling them out on that. Like, dude, you got to stay ready, man.
Sounds like some Warriors players that I know from the past, Steiny. All right, Steiny and Goo next. And it's going to be brought to you by Fremont Bank, here for you, here for good.
He brings the passion.
For what? I want to know now. I'm mentally invested. Don't tell me to pray and you don't say what for.
he brings the perspective.
Yeah, I think they both have great points.
Get off me, text line.
He's truly one of a kind.
That is whack.
Oh, my God.
And he's doing a great job.
I need you to man up and say what you really want to say.
Simon, you're doing a great job. And together, they're Steiny and Guru.
Yeah.
On 95.7 The Game.
All righty. Good morning, everybody. What's happening? Steiny and Guru. That's all you need to know. We're going to be on fire early today. Okay. I know what direction we're headed. Go ahead. I don't know why. You come in today. You got a burr up your saddle. Go ahead, rip Trent Williams.
It's payday. I ain't got nothing up the saddle. No,
go right now. Run him into the ground at 37. We have Matt Barrow saying that they have all the injuries they do because Kyle Shanahan practices them too hard.
Well, he wouldn't
But they have a
endure
37-year-old, the greatest offensive lineman in history, and you want him to overtire himself in the training camp.
You are a big hypocrite. You've been the biggest Trent Williams hater, and now you're defending. Now you're Johnny Cochran.
Not anymore.
Just because I came at him. What's up, man? Anyway, no, Steiny, that's just something I thought about. Like, he has to get right, and that O-line has to be better than they were against Seattle. Now, the easy thing is, well, the Saints aren't Seattle. But, Steiny, you got to come out of the Bayou 2-0 and forget that they won against Seattle, and it was huge. We know that. But, man, how long, and nobody knows this, is this going to be the version of the Niners you get in 2025 without Brock and without Kittle? I am excited to see if Mac Jones, can I finish? If Mac Jones is going to be the best version of himself since that rookie year where he led the Pats to the playoffs.
They're going to be without Purdy, it looks like, for 2 to 5 weeks, and Kittle for 4 weeks.
All right.
So they know who they're not going to be playing with, and Mac Jones is going to get his first start in the Kyle Shanahan era for him anyway. They got the Saints. They still have a bunch of their big-name players, and I expect them to go down and win that game. I don't think it's going to be easy. I don't have it chalked up, but they're favored, and the Saints aren't very good. And you should go down there and beat them. And Vegas thinks the same thing. The line's gone from 6.5 to 3. Point total's gone from 44.5 to 40.5. But the 49ers are thought of to be the better team there.
No, I'm with you. And the Vegas thing is interesting, but, that's a whole nother thing with the money. But you talk about Robert Saleh, and in game one, Steiny, there was no way anybody could deny his impact. Clint Eastwood, sudden impact. And you got the youngsters along with Bosa and Warner and now D. Winters, who I'm falling in love with. So if they could pick up right where they left off against Seattle, just from a defensive standpoint, you think that's enough already.
Yeah.
That should be enough.
888-957-9570 is the number. And it's a simple question, 49er fans, and it's your expectations for Sunday. Without Brock Purdy starting, without George Kittle starting, do your expectations change in terms of winning and losing that game? And I'm just trying to put myself in the place of a 49er fan, and the reality of the situation is that I got to believe Niner fans think they would have won that game with Brock Purdy, and if I were a Niner fan, I think we could win the game without Brock Purdy, even though it's probably not going to be as easy as, or it's going to be more difficult. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I am curious about the McCaffrey component of all this, and it might just be a byproduct that we see more than 9 touches, I believe, from B-Rob, Steiny. But how's McCaffrey? How is he going to be used? Is there any scenario in your mind to where he surpasses his touch total that he got last week?
I mean, I doubt it because he had so many last week. But, I mean, the one thing about Kyle Shanahan is he's going to use whoever he needs to use as much as he thinks he needs to use him. And if the 49ers, do I think he'll get 31 touches? No, absolutely not. But if the game goes overtime and it's tight and he would need to use him 31 times, he will.
Yeah.
That's what he's proven to do. So 49ers play on Sunday at 10. We got the Giants playing the Dodgers this weekend here in town. We got the Valkyries starting the playoffs.
10 a.m.
And we got a lot of action this weekend in the Bay.
Yeah,
Looking
and
forward to
we'll
it.
have a Valkyrie playoff game regardless of what happens Sunday in Minneapolis, the home of Prince Rogers Nelson, Steiny. But we will have a Valkyries playoff game here in the Bay. I believe it's Wednesday, so that's going to be exciting. And then we'll be able to talk about, what happens in this game against New Orleans. And I just think about Dibs yesterday, and he talked about, he made an astute point just in regard to the Giants, Steiny. I'm not irritated. I'm happy and excited. And I think the Giants are kind of turning into that team you don't want to face. We see that every year in sports. But, man, it's a game and a half. But, Steiny, it's really 2.5, and that means everything to me. So they're close, and you got more than enough time, but you're right. You got to try to take care of business against the Dodgers.
The one thing I'm thinking about with the 49ers is Kyle Shanahan's approach with Mac Jones at quarterback as opposed to Brock Purdy at quarterback. And if you think about Brock Purdy over the last, let's say, 2 or 3 years, it's seemed pretty apparent that by game after game after game, Kyle Shanahan's given him a little bit more leeway, a little more responsibility. He could probably do stuff on his own a little more. I don't anticipate that with Mac Jones. I think he's going to – I think Mac Jones is going to be given specific tasks and to be looking for specific receivers. And I don't know if Kyle Shanahan's going to want or encourage Mac Jones to, ad lib as much as maybe he lets Purdy or has gotten to allow Purdy over the last 2 or 3 years.
But sometimes you can't control that. You know what I'm saying, Steiny? If the pocket were to break down, and again, we talked about it in the crossover with Spadoni and Loveman, I don't know if you agreed with me, but we both know the wheels on Mac Jones are not that of Brock Purdy, and Brock Purdy's not Michael Vick or Lamar Jackson, but he can move somewhat. So, sometimes – that's just a byproduct of bad pressure and the pocket collapse. He can get out of there. I've seen him do it, but just not to the, to the level of Brock Purdy to where you kind of expect it.
Yeah, I don't think that Shanahan's going to tolerate off-script stuff from Mac Jones. I think he's going to, I think the one thing that that'll make him pull his hair out is if Jones is trying to force throws when he's in the pocket instead of trying to throw it away. But I anticipate a very conservative game plan from Shanahan. And I do think he's going to lean on McCaffrey as much as he can. But I don't anticipate him putting Mac Jones into a lot of positions where, Mac Jones has to take risks.
So this won't be let Mac cook at all. You don't think we'll see that at all? Let Mac cook?
I mean, sometimes I don't even feel he lets Purdy cook. But we'll see.
What about the field goal component? I was thinking of that driving in. Do you think we are past, we talked about the dark cloud I felt like was over Kyle in regard to, and he said it. Evan sent us that clip. Kyle said as much. Had they not converted that touchdown on the third down, he was going for it on fourth. Do you think with Panero that's out the window now and he's just going to straight up traditional, I'll take the 3 because I got confidence, in our new guy?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what Panero's range is, but I'm sure that he's got a number, and if it's 55, then Shanahan will let him kick from 55 and in. I would think. I mean, if you have a different and a new kicker in there, you got to use him, and if you think he can make a kick, you gotta let him make a kick. So I would think the kicker is all systems go with whatever you think his range is for him. 888-957-9570 is the number. 49ers game 2 on Sunday against the New Orleans Saints. 10 a.m. start from the Superdome, and Mac Jones is going to get the start. And my question to 49er fans is simple. How you feeling about your team's chances going down there with a backup quarterback? I'll say it again, even though, people want to push back, but this is where you got to use the schedule to your advantage. You've got a backup quarterback, probably going to be quarterback in 2 or 3 of the next games. And the question is, can he do a backup quarterback job of winning a couple of those games? And if he does, then you get Brock Purdy back and you're sitting pretty.
And you're going up against South Carolina's finest, Steiny, Spencer Rattler. He's definitely not Drew Brees. So, again, I feel like the ingredients are there for this Niner defense, this new Niner defense, that a lot of the pulling is done by some youngsters who popped against Seattle, growing pains, Maggie Seaver. But, man, if they could kind of, rattle the Rattler, I mean, that just might be enough on its own.
Yeah, 888-957-9570 is the number. You want to jump into the conversation about the San Francisco 49ers. Mac Jones is going to get the start on Sunday. And, of course, the thing that also interesting part of this is the 49ers were linked to Mac Jones during the draft process. And I think there's still people out there that believe, and I'm actually interested to hear do you really believe that Mac Jones was the guy originally that Kyle Shanahan wanted? I mean, there were reports from Schefter that Mac Jones was somebody that they were thinking of moving up for. His name was all over the draft before it happened, and they ended up taking Trey Lance. And there's been some talk that maybe Kyle Shanahan didn't want Trey Lance, that originally wanted Mac Jones. Do you believe that, Goo?
I do. And this is how I saw it on draft night. You're talking about heavyweights in the reporting game. Peter King, Schefter, and they all had it to where the Niners were going to draft. It felt like Alabama's Mac Jones. And Steiny, I felt like every comment that was on social media, and this is just how I see it in Twitter, there was almost an upheave from Niner fans upset. And I wonder if York put that out and saw that and then doubled back like, you know what? The fan base is not with it. I know this is crazy, but it's what I feel, because how many times are guys like King and Schefter wrong? And King almost didn't take the L. Shout out Peter King. I know he's retired, Steiny. Like, that was the intel. And then when that tweet went out right before that night of the draft, before the draft, I mean, a lot of Niner fans were pissed off. So I don't know if that had anything to do with it. But I'll say this. Had you drafted Mac Jones, would he have been better than Trey Lance? And would Brock Purdy, would this even be his job? You do wonder that as well. I do. How that would have panned out, Mac Jones with Kyle from the outset.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll ever know whether Mac Jones was really Shanahan's guy or not, but do I believe he was? No, I don't. And I just base that on the following, and that is, we've talked a lot about Kyle Shanahan, and he's a little bit arrogant, a little bit stubborn, likes to do things his own way. And if you believe that about Kyle Shanahan, which I kind of do, no malice, just, he can be a pretty stubborn guy, then you can't convince me that he really wanted Mac Jones but was talked out of it and ended up taking Trey Lance. That to me does not fit Kyle Shanahan's profile. Kyle Shanahan's profile would have been, if he liked Mac Jones, we're taking Mac Jones. And I just find it hard to believe that Jed York said, well, let's go take Trey Lance. And he said, okay, we'll go ahead and do that. I think that doesn't sound like Kyle Shanahan to me.
Yeah, let me throw this to you. So you speak of doesn't fit Kyle's profile, but I've criticized Kyle for passing up on Deshaun Watson, the good version of Deshaun Watson in the draft, Mahomes, the dual threat quarterbacks, and Trey Lance didn't look like he was the type that fit Kyle's profile. So, Steiny, I just wonder, without having, a great college career and big-time games on Saturday night, what kind of workout, maybe the tape will show itself somehow. We'll find it later down the road. But what type of workout and what attracted Kyle to a guy that I thought didn't interest Kyle Shanahan?
It was the exact same workout that Wiseman had for the Warriors.
But he was a big.
Doesn't matter. And Trey Lance was supposedly athletic. There were a couple great individual workouts. Apparently they must have had. 888-957-9570 is the number. 49ers Week 2 game, Sunday morning, 10 o'clock. Mac Jones is going to be the starting quarterback. Brock Purdy, of course, is going to miss some games. We'll see how many. Is it going to be as few as one or two, or as many as 4 or 5. We'll find that out, obviously, in the coming weeks. But how are we feeling about this game with Mac Jones at quarterback? 888-957-9570 is the number. Coming up today at noon of the NFL Network, Mike Yam will be joining us. He also works at the CW, and we'll talk to him. We talk to Mike every few weeks about the Niners. He's tapped in. So what's coming up on the game is brought to you by Fremont Bank, here for you, here for good. And that segment also sponsored by Moderna.
Mnexspike, COVID-19 vaccine mRNA by Moderna, is now available and easy to find near you. To learn more, visit mnexspike.com. That's MNEXSPIKE.com.
At Shane Company, we've been engagement ring experts for almost 100 years. We have the largest selection of diamonds and gemstones in stock. You don't have to wait to compare them side by side. Find the one that speaks to you at shaneco.com or in store. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Coming to Freedman's Appliance in Pleasant Hill, September 26th through the 28th for their fall clearance sales event. Take advantage of factory direct prices, one-of-a-kind opportunities, special pricing on floor models, and convenient financing. Save on new appliances from trusted brands like Miele, Bosch, Electrolux, LG, and Maytag. Visit Freeman's Appliance in Pleasant Hill for their fall clearance sales event September 26th through the 28th for the best time to save on new appliances for your home.
Losing weight shouldn't be a struggle, and with Jumpstart MD, it doesn't have to be. Your first month is just $99 when you join Jumpstart MD's medically supervised weight loss program today. Licensed clinicians create personalized plans, including GLP-1 medications. No insurance? No problem. Jumpstart MD has options to meet your individual needs. With 13 Bay Area locations and online visits, expert support is always within reach. Call 855-JUMPSTART or visit jumpstartmd.com to start transforming your health today.
Shop organics at Whole Foods Market. Get organic black, red, and green seedless grapes for $2.99 per pound with Prime through September 16th. Snack on these crisp and juicy bites for a sweet pick-me-up. While supplies last, shop in-store or online. Terms apply.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Shopping for a new car is fun. Shopping for financing, not fun. Luckily, First NorCal Credit Union can help. With rates as low as 4.75% APR, you can save big by skipping the dealer financing and applying their rebates to your down payment. Visit firstnorcalcu.org to apply. Must qualify for membership. Rates subject to change without notice. Loan subject to credit approval. 4.75 annual percent rate based on 36-month term and 780 FICO score and $29.86 per $1,000 borrowed.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more, 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
Today we're constantly taking photos and videos to remember our favorite moments. But what about those captured before the smartphone? What about the memories tucked away on aging VHS tapes, film reels, or in fading photos?
These cherished memories are fading away with time, vulnerable to threats like heat, moisture, and mold. But fear not, there's a solution to safeguard your legacy. Hi, I'm Adam.
And I'm Nick. Together we founded Legacy Box over a decade ago with one mission, to bring your memories into the 21st century.
It's time to bid farewell to old tapes you can't watch and faded photos. Legacy Box transforms them into digital treasures, ready to share with a click.
Just like magic, your shoebox of memories is now safely stored in the cloud or on a thumb drive.
Over 1 million families have trusted Legacy Box, so you can rest assured your priceless moments are in good hands.
Don't let your childhood fade away on old tapes. It's time to digitize those priceless moments.
Fast forward into the digital age. Visit legacybox.com/value and unlock 50% off your order. That's legacybox.com/value.
Jones, deep ball, and somehow they blew the coverage. It's Bourne to the end zone. One play later.
Now, back to Steiny and Guru on 95.7 The Game.
Sound courtesy of Jim Nance, CBS.
One of the greats.
Sure is.
And we'll get into that list of most influential sport media personalities. I thought that was intriguing by one Bill Simmons. I ain't mad at it, but I had some dudes lower than I thought he compiled the list.
Was it his list or he was?
No, it was from Awful Announcing.
Oh,
okay.
boy.
All right, no, air early.
Because that if it would have been his list, then he would have put himself number one.
Where was he at?
Well, number one.
Oh, wow.
On the list.
I'll tell you who I think should be number one.
Who?
Our friend of the show's number one.
Hold on.
Stephen A. But there's a guy named Skip that I think.
It's been 2000. It's since 2000.
Yeah.
So it's over the last 25 years.
But I remember Cold Pizza with Jay Crawford and Skip
you were the one
Bayless
who remembers.
And Woody Page. Skip, we got to put some respect on his name.
Go ahead if you want.
He fizzled out.
Yeah, go ahead if you want. You can put it on. Go ahead, put it on.
Call it like you see it.
No, it's just,
that's Shannon. That's my Shannon.
Dude,
you said we're going to get into it. I'm ready.
Yeah, well, but it's teased. I mean, we got Mike Yam at noon.
Mike's great.
We got to talk about New Orleans at 1 o'clock, and we got Antonio in Oakland right now.
Tone.
What's up, Antonio? How you doing, man? You want to talk about Sunday's game?
Oh, yeah, man. 49ers, we're going to be winning this game. I know Brock Purdy's a big part of our team and all that, but Mac Jones, we need him to, play at least kind of like how Jimmy G used to play, safe and, make plays we need it and all that. And I hate that we don't got Kittle, top 5 or 6 tight end all time. Oh, hey, Steiny. And then, so I think we're going to win this by at least 2 touchdowns, kind of like how the Niners used to beat the Saints when we had Steve Young and Jerry Rice. So the defense is going to tighten up. We probably give up 10 points at the most, man. I can't wait for this game. Yeah. Love y'all, though.
I appreciate it, Antonio. Appreciate it. What's the if you're a Niner fan and you're going into this game against the New Orleans Saints,
all right,
do you go into it and what are you worried about? Mac Jones, the backup quarterback, starting? Are you worried that there is no George Kittle? Are you worried that McCaffrey's coming off 31 touches? Are you worried that Trent Williams didn't get off to a great start in week 1? Or do you look at it and you recognize all those things, but you say, we're better than the New Orleans Saints regardless. So despite all those things, I feel like we should go down there and still win the game.
I like still win the game because I think they're capable. But, Steiny, the one thing that the Niners, I feel like, just from my vantage point, have in their back pocket is their defense and their new defense. And it is game number 2. I know last week a lot of people, they like what they saw, and rightfully so. But all the questions you just mentioned before you got to just get the win, I'm concerned. Mac Jones, I got confidence in the good Mac Jones. Steiny, if he gets the Timex, if he gets time, is he going to have time? Pressure bust pipes. So if somehow Trent Williams, and I ain't just putting it all at Trent, but he's your dude, Steiny. He's the guy. And if somehow you get a performance across the board from the O-line last week against the Saints, I'm going to feel like that's going to give the Saints players and offense, a feeling of we got some action.
Yeah, you just said something interesting about who you have more confidence in, the offense or the defense. And you said the defense, and I don't know what I would say. I mean, the defense is still pretty young. And the Seahawks aren't a great offense. The Saints aren't a great offense. I think it's going to be tough to assess the defense. But then again, the offense doesn't have their starting quarterback, starting number one wide receiver, and starting tight end. So if I were to ask 49er fans what going into this game, do you have more confidence in the offense and defense? I could understand saying the defense at this point. Because of what's going on offensively with the injuries.
When do you, Evan came in and we had a discussion during breaks down here about my point I was just trying to make about Trent Williams because I think so highly of him. But I'm sorry, if I just look at the breadcrumbs of what they allowed and what he needed, he should be ready. I mean, do we come in here Monday, let's just say he doesn't have the best game or they don't have the best game again? Are you just going to look me in the eyes and say, hey, Goo, he's your brother working it out. It's week 2. Give him some more time? Or are you going to
give him more time? What are the options? What would the option be?
There are none.
Other than to give Trent Williams more time.
But my point is the ramifications could be, if you go into a game like you did last week and your O-line was porous, I believe – they could play better if you get that type of performance.
Well, then
we might be talking about a Niner team that's 1-1.
Yeah, I think, and you know what? I think more important than them being 1-1 is then you'll acknowledge that he's a little bit older and maybe on the decline.
I'm in denial on that.
Well, you shouldn't be because I think Trent would even acknowledge that.
Well, we could say that about McCaffrey, but he still was stellar. I mean, he ain't what he was 5 years ago.
Well, I shudder at that comparison between McCaffrey in week 1 and Williams in week 1. Oh, Lordy.
Well, there was.
McCaffrey was good. Trent stunk.
No, right.
So the question's going to be, how do they play this weekend with McCaffrey at running back and Trent Williams? But, okay, so this is one where you think the 49ers haven't handled Trent Williams in the right way?
Well, he's basically been Frank Sinatra. He's did it his way. And when I say he's did it his way, the workload in the offseason, he was pretty much on ice. And I take that as, okay, when it's go time, you're going to be at your best. And injuries happen. He's a big dude, right? I get that. But that wasn't the Trent Williams we're accustomed to, and I don't think the Niners can be the best version of themselves with that type of Trent Williams. I'm telling you, I don't believe that was age. I believe maybe, okay, he needed some more reps in the offseason or a different regiment. Whatever he did, didn't bode well for one game. But he's so stellar still, I believe, Steiny. I'm holding out hope that we'll see a better version of him. And he was talking that talk like, I know what to do, Goo. I got it, Steiny. Don't trip. But again, I could be looking at DeMarcus Lawrence and that front from Seattle like I'm not giving them enough credit. And maybe New Orleans doesn't pose that.
That never mattered. That never was supposed to matter with Trent Williams. And I think
I ain't mad at you on that one.
This is where it's like, okay, so what you want is Trent Williams cannot practice for 4 weeks before the season, then practice all season, then continue to practice through a playoff run. He's incapable of doing that. You have to give him days off. He was off yesterday.
Yeah,
he didn't practice yesterday.
I get that. So, that's built in.
So I don't know whether all I know is he didn't have a good year last year. He didn't have a good second half of the year, year before last year,
and I wanted to
and
fight
he didn't
you
have
on
a
that.
great first game. So, at what point
A lot of personal stuff last year, though, Steiny.
And at what point do we say he hasn't played his best football for, over a year at this point? 888-957-9570 is the number. Mac Jones is going to get the start on Sunday against the New Orleans Saints. The Saints got beat by the Cardinals in Week 1, and the question is, how you feeling going into this game? The injuries, they've got 2 of them to start the season with Brock Purdy and with George Kittle. Purdy's going to miss at least 2 games, it looks like, and Kittle's going to miss at least 4. But you're going Jennings down. Yeah, Juwan Jennings, I guess we'll find out about.
What about Bourne? How much do Kendrick Bourne? Because I talked about it the crossover yesterday, Steiny. Pearsall, will we see him still, be a factor like he was with Brock Purdy? And that's what I was looking forward to, part 2 of that. So now I wonder if Mac Jones can utilize Pearsall like Brock Purdy was doing.
Yeah, or maybe he'll utilize Bourne more because he's played with Bourne in New England. I'm not quite sure. But what's the key going to be to a win for the 49ers on Sunday? And I'm asking 49er fans out there, what do you see happening? Do you see a big game for McCaffrey? Do you see the 49ers throwing the ball a lot? Do you see them being super conservative, high-scoring game, low-scoring game? How do 49ers fans look at Sunday's game? What are you expecting, knowing that, it's unpredictable, but do you see high scoring, low scoring? Another big game for McCaffrey carry-wise. Do you see Mac Jones stepping into the void? 888-957-9570. Coming up at noon, we'll have Mike Yam of the NFL Network and also at the CW he works. And that segment was brought to you by Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water.
What makes Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water different? We always bottle our Alpine Spring Water less than 1.5 miles from the spring source, and all our bottles are made with 50% recycled plastic from our own recycling plants. Crystal Geyser, bottled at the spring source.
Want to interact with the hosts but can't call? Text the Boxer and Gerson Work Injury Attorneys text line at 888-957-9570. Boxer and Gerson, Northern California's premier workers' compensation law firm, helping injured workers get their lives back for over 40 years.
What time is it? Game time. What time is it? You know what time it is. It's football season, and it's the big fella, Lorenzo Neal. Join me and Evan Giddings every home game for the kickoff show, live at the Laughing Mock Gastropub, Sunnyvale, right around the corner from the stadium. We're talking Niner football and hosting the best game day tailgate in the Bay. Laughing Mock Game Day is the faithful's first stop, with games, prizes, free parking, and a shuttle straight to the stadium. Righteously brewed in San Francisco and faithfully brewed for the fans.
Welcome to Dugout Radio, the undisputed home of Boomtown Baseball.
The Wi-Fi is booming with Xfinity, baby. Our next caller is
Stacy. How do you stay locked in on every pitch and play?
We stream it all live on Xfinity Internet with low lag, 99.99% network reliability, and speeds faster than a base runner beating the throw to home plate.
I stream on my TV, tablets, even my smart fridge.
Smart fridge?
With all those games, we gotta refuel.
Stream live baseball with Wi-Fi built for the biggest moments. Xfinity. Restrictions apply. Actual speeds vary, not guaranteed.
Hey, it's your boy Guru. Every time we put a rat on the table during our show, it's brought to you by Atco Pest Control. Atco Pest Control is a family-owned local business proud to provide pest control in the Bay Area for over 35 years. Atco uses natural methods to give you a peace of mind and keep your family out of harm's way. Quality pest control doesn't have to empty your savings either. Don't wait. Go to AtcoPestControl.com for all your pest control needs. They got you covered.
Game day just got an upgrade. Whether you're gearing up or winding down, Westfield Valley Fair is your go-to spot. Hit the latest gear at Shoe Palace, grab bold bites at Shake Shack and Eataly, and catch the action on big screens at King's Fish House. From premium shopping to epic eats and entertainment, make every football Sunday legendary. Westfield Valley Fair, where football fans fuel up in style.
At Big O Tires, now through September 28th, get $40 to $60 in rebate savings on sets of 4 Michelin tires. Plus, Big O Tires will match up to $60 in instant savings. Installation required, disposal fees extra, not good with other offers. See Big O dealer for details.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids.
1-877-CARS for kids. Donate your car today. 1-877-CARS for kids. KARS Cars for kids. 1-877-CARS for kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877-CARS for kids. KARS Cars for kids. 1-877-CARS for kids. Donate your...
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
College holds a mythic place in American culture, but there are stories you won't hear on the campus tours.
The higher-ups are concerned about one thing, and that is avoiding scandal.
I'm Margot Gray. On the new podcast, Campus Files, we cover everything from rigged admissions to the drama of Greek life and student protests. Listen to and follow Campus Files, an Odyssey original podcast. Available now on the free Odyssey app and wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi, I'm Maria, salon owner. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic, made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
It's time. Time for the pro to get everything for the entire job, all from one partner. To get access to over 3 million products, including many products you won't find in our stores. It's time to get delivery on your schedule or next day on over 50,000 products. And time to get dedicated support on the job site or in our stores. From ordering to planning, we've got you. One partner, any job, all in. Ask about all we can now do at the Pro Desk. The Home Depot Pro, it's about time.
Join Lorenzo Neal and Evan Giddings at Laughing Monk Brewing in Sunnyvale every 49ers home game this season for our special pregame live broadcast. Plus, we'll have games, prizes, great food, and shuttles to and from Levi's Stadium. For more information, visit 957thegame.com.
There is a block and touchdown pass. Aguilar from the rookie Matt Jones. His first NFL touchdown pass.
It's the Guru, Steiny Guru, Steiny Guru, Steiny Show. Let's go.
All right, that was Kevin Harlan, CBS Sports on the call. Mac Jones, I believe that was his first touchdown pass in the NFL. And he'll be adding to that Sunday, right, Goo?
You would think. I wonder how many people picked him up in fantasy. Not lots, huh?
Probably not.
Yeah. Did you have anybody playing last night? Green Bay, Washington. Green Bay's going to win the Super Bowl.
No. Who said that?
No, everybody. You know, Spadoni and just talk to me when Micah Parsons, second half of the season, No.
Evan, you get what's going on here, don't you, with him?
No, he wears down. He wears down, Evan, and disappears in playoff games. That's all I'm saying. It's week 2. He's great. They're going to be better. Talk to me when the playoffs come.
Well, the issue is it's not just about Micah.
I know.
You know, he's
in a better situation.
Well, but okay, everyone's jumping on the wagon. No, Spadoni can't have them. No, I told you guys before the season that was my pick. So Spadoni cannot hop on the wagon just because he wants you to feel bad about Micah.
Territorial, man. It's mine. It's mine. It's mine.
Right, as opposed to you who stand for nothing.
Or fall for anything.
Exactly.
Please.
Yeah. At least Evan's steadfast.
Take that back. I didn't like that.
Bad. I don't care today.
I don't
think I care.
It's payday.
So what?
Where's Marcy?
She's sick.
I was going to pull out the little thing, and I can't remember what it is.
Oh, Marcy, get better.
I think Nahegan gave her the heave-ho, too.
Since when do you listen to him?
Occasionally.
It's our show. Our name is on the marquee. We go down together. He's told us that. I can't see with the bathroom. I think you're uncomfortable talking to her.
Actually, now you did that. Now you did that, and I'm going to tell you the truth. She was actually weirded out last week by you putting her on the spot about her relationship. So
that's a great comeback, but you're lying. But that is a great. We talk.
Hey, you believe what you want to believe.
We talk.
Tom
I go
Petty,
in there.
refugee.
Yeah.
No, you.
We talk. That's my girl. I know what you're doing. It's not going to work.
Just
Evan, your voice.
You make her a little uncomfortable. It's okay.
Nobody's ever said that about me.
She's a grown-up.
I got my imperfections, but I never make anybody uncomfortable. Couple times.
Mia O'Brien works in Jacksonville at the ESPN affiliate. She covers the Jaguars, ESPN Radio. She also does the WBB podcast. This is what she said about Mac Jones. She got a look at him last year when he was with Jacksonville, and she thinks he's got a shot here.
Whatever it is. The reason I believe it'll work, and the reason that I believe that Kyle Shanahan first did consider taking Mac Jones with that 3rd overall pick, is because he is every other quarterback that has had success in this Shanahan system. He will do exactly what you ask him to do. If anything, and again, I don't have this from the horse's mouth, but from comments that were made, I think that Doug Peterson felt more comfortable with Mac Jones later in the season because Mac Jones did exactly what he asked him to do. And Trevor Lawrence wanted to have more of a conversation of like, maybe we should do this, maybe we should do that. And Doug and Press Taylor were like, no, we want to do this.
All right, so Mac Jones is a rule follower.
Stop.
He's a rule follower. Tell him what to do, he'll do it.
Oh, that's the job description. I'm just saying, when you think about Jimmy Garoppolo, you think about the DNA or what it takes to run this offense. I think Mac Jones, from a physical standpoint, hey, you got the job. And Kyle saw something with him to bring him in here. And I know it's probably too soon for everybody's liking, even Kyle's, but here we are. So when I think about, close my eyes, what Sunday's game is going to look like, Steiny, I'm like, he can handle it. And he's handled it, he didn't fare well when you look at his win-loss record and going to New England and Jacksonville. But the bottom line is he's had some success in this league, and now he's with Big Brother, who can dial it up with the best of them. And if he gets time, he should be able to throw dimes and move the chains and score enough points for this team, not to just beat the Saints, but however many weeks he has to stay in there.
I mean, I think it.
I really believe that.
Well, what I really believe is that the number one thing of importance for the 49ers to win the game in Kyle Shanahan's mind would be that Mac Jones essentially must do exactly what Kyle asks him to do and never try to do anything more. Like, that's the way I look at Kyle Shanahan and the way he'll coach a guy like Mac Jones, who has never started a game for him in the regular season before. I think he's going to have him on a short leash. I think it's going to be a safe game plan. I don't think he's going to be asking Mac Jones to take a lot of chances. And I think he hopes to get away with a win here as vanilla as possible if they can somehow pull it off.
Oh, I get that, but Steiny, you can talk that talk until you go out there and Kyle's not going to be on the field, and let's just say there's a breakdown in protection or something goes wrong. I mean, he has the license, Mac Jones that is, to ad-lib.
Sure, and that's when the mistakes are going to happen, and that's when I'll bet you Kyle Shanahan will go nuts. I got to believe that Shanahan wants Mac Jones to, if he doesn't have to take a sack, get rid of the ball. If he has to take a sack, hold on to the ball.
Quarterback in one-on-one.
If he sees somebody that he doesn't believe is completely open, don't throw it. The one thing, this is just my way of thinking, common sense, is the first thing a backup quarterback's got to do to win your game is not to make any big mistakes. Can't make any big mistakes. Yeah. And so that's one thing that Kyle Shanahan can go a long way toward controlling during the with the plays that he gives him to run.
Man, you just got me thinking about the trust factor when we watch football on any level, college and the pro, and let's just say it's 3rd and 13, and you got all the confidence in the world in your quarterback. You dial it up. You're trying to get that first down through the air. Sometimes we see a check down or even a run play and boos rang out because that just is another illustration of the coach doesn't have trust in the quarterback. But Steiny, 3rd and 13, I think Kyle is going to dial it up as if he had Brock Purdy, until Mac Jones messes up.
Well, they better.
Because you can't hide your quarterback in the NFL, Steiny. You can't hide him. That we know.
No, but Kyle can camouflage him pretty well. And that's what his strength, a lot of people feel, is getting a guy to do what he wants, and the rest will take care of itself. This is more Mia O'Brien, ESPN Radio in Jacksonville, talking about Mac Jones.
There's a lot of stats that have people in Jacksonville panicked with regards to the Brian Thomas Jr. success his rookie year, and the fact that 500 plus of his 1,000 plus receiving yards from a year ago came with Mac Jones as the quarterback, not Trevor Lawrence. He really didn't become the focal point of the offense until the midway point, and even then in Trevor Lawrence's third to last game technically against the Philadelphia Eagles, because that was the game he got hurt. I think BTJ had like 2 targets total. So it wasn't just because Brian Thomas Jr. hit his stride when Trevor Lawrence had already been hurt and was out for the season. I think it was also because the offensive play calling perhaps didn't recognize that, Brian Thomas Jr. could potentially be a top 5 wide receiver in the National Football League. And so Mac Jones was the beneficiary of that, but to his credit, he made the throws to Brian when he had to.
I'm looking at the score box, Donnie. If you had to guess what Brian Thomas Jr. did in a 26-10 win over the Panthers for the Jaguars, what would you guess? How many receptions?
This is week 1?
Yeah, last Sunday. As soon as I heard Mia say that, I was like, let me check. They won now, 26-10.
5 for 70.
1 for 11.
Okay.
So he might be missing on Mac.
No, I got you there. I got you there. 888-957-9570 is the number. And Mac Jones is going to be starting under center for the San Francisco 49ers on Sunday against the New Orleans Saints. And the 49ers look to go 2-0. Yeah. 2-0 to start their season. This is where's the I'm looking for Moose. Oh, this is the one I wanted. Moose Johnston was on with the morning show yesterday, and he was asked about Mac Jones and what he's got and what he might benefit from under Shanny.
Mac comes, as a 15th pick overall in his college draft. Sometimes a change of scenery is the most important thing. So to get out of New England, who was going through a really, really tough time at that point, it's tough to take over from the greatest of all time, right? So a lot of pressure there. It's going to be challenging for Mac to be able to create his own identity and his own style, in New England. I think it was probably beneficial for him, to get down to Jacksonville last year. That's another opportunity to get around different coaches' styles, to get more information, to see how other people approach offensive football in the NFL. And now he's with a group that I think he kind of fits well into their skill set that they look for in the quarterback.
All right, that was Moose Johnston talking about Mac Jones and the similarities maybe between him and Brock Purdy. And it feels like there are similarities with respect to their throwing style and quarterbacking style, but maybe not quite as much as we talk about their mobility.
What would you say to this? I believe Mac Jones, not since his time in college with Saban, Steiny, this is the best coach that he'll be under since those days with Kyle Shanahan. Because it was bad in New England. And we talked about the Patricia and all, everything that was going on there, musical chairs in Jacksonville. That thing stinks. But now he's under the tutelage of Kyle Shanahan. And, Steiny, there's so many ways to discuss a football game and talk about what's going to happen, what needs to happen, what will happen. But Damon Chang knocks it out the park to me. And this just illustrates my ultra confidence in Mac Jones this Sunday, Steiny. And it's the quarterback on the other side. The 49ers aren't losing to Spencer Rattler. That's just like if you just gave that to me about the preview of this game, that would suffice. Like, that defense was stellar, led by Robert Saleh. The Saints are almost the Aints. There's no way I think he has his day in the park with this Niner defense, unless somehow the Niners offense turns the ball over left and right.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM and HD1 San Francisco, an Odyssey sports station in the home of the Golden State Warriors and Valkyries. Always live on the free Odyssey app, coming to you live from the Laughing Monk Studios. Laughing Monk, righteously brewed in San Francisco. Do you want to jump in here, Evan? Where the Belichick? I missed something there. Was Doug Peterson the coach of the Jacksonville last year?
He got fired.
But he was the coach last year.
No.
He wasn't. No. Okay. This is the
Guru said he's the best coach Shanahan is since he worked with Saban.
And I meant offensive.
Yeah, because I was just saying he did play for Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
I got you. And I thought Mac Jones also might have played under Doug Peterson last year.
And Evan, on that point, and to you, Steiny, I don't know what you guys think. I kind of hated it when they broke up, but life without Brady proved to me that Belichick may not have been the offensive genius we thought he was. Is that unfair?
Well, he's not an offensive genius. He's a defensive genius.
But I thought he got credit for Brady, too, though, and it seems like life without Brady was rough.
But haven't we learned that no head coach without a good quarterback is a good head coach?
Well, Kyle has kind of proven that the other way. Jimmy Garoppolo and Brock Purdy on line one to be able to still get you to the...
Well, that's actually an interesting way to put it, because I think a lot of people would say Purdy's a pretty good quarterback. Like, he finally got his, you know what I mean? But that's an interesting way to look at it.
Well, he was the last pick in the draft.
But I don't think of Purdy like that anymore.
Oh, right.
But
how much is that because of Kyle?
I don't know. I mean, I think Brock Purdy could. What would you rank him in terms of quarterbacks in the league? 12. Let's just say. Let's agree on a number.
If you put top 10, I'm okay.
Let's just say 12.
Yeah, with everything winning.
Right.
Go ahead.
I believe Brock Purdy could start on the 18 other teams or 20 other teams in the NFL. So, in other words, right now, he might have helped Purdy along to this point, but I believe Brock Purdy could be the starting quarterback for 15 or 20 teams in the NFL right now, whether he played for Shanahan or not. But what do 49ers fans
Evan,
think
you
about
agree with that? I don't know, man.
Would he start for 20 other teams?
How successful would they be?
Well, I just picked the number, and if he's 10, I would have said 22. If he's 12, I would have said 20. If he's 14, I would have said 18. My point is that wherever he ranks, I do believe he could be the starter on the guys who are placed below him.
I mean, I also think, if you dropped him into Green Bay instead of Jordan Love, they're still going to win games. And they're a better team than the Niners are, but I think with LaFleur, he would still be pretty good.
Yeah, I think Purdy has benefited from Kyle Shanahan and now could succeed independent of Kyle Shanahan. Do you? I think it's a great question.
No, it is. I don't want to rob Brock or any other quarterback, but the discussion Evan and I were having, and I like him, because the Hoodie's one of my all-time coaches of all time, but I got to be honest, and I know you guys didn't ask me, I just feel like he took a hit offensively, and I know he's a defensive coach, but I was giving him credit for Brady too, and then when Brady left, it kind of, what if I said Belichick failed Mac Jones?
Well, they made the playoffs with a guy who's on his third team in his fifth year.
That happened.
Yeah, I'm now focused on whether or not how much is Kyle Shanahan right now
responsible?
Yeah. Or how is Brock Purdy still I don't believe Brock Purdy is now all dependent on Kyle Shanahan to become a good quarterback in the NFL. That might have been the case a few years ago, but I think Brock Purdy could go to any team and be their starting quarterback.
How about this? I'm not mad at that.
Give me a list of the teams.
But when it was, and again, I'm not saying it was right, but when Brock Purdy was getting drafted on his own merit, he was the last pick in the draft. Now, we could say, obviously, that was wrong, but when he got with Kyle Shanahan, look what he's turned into.
Out of necessity. Absolute.
But we also got to give Kyle credit and Brock at the same point of him looking at Brock saying, this dude can be the maestro of my offense. And he was proven correct.
Do you believe Kyle Shanahan's the only coach in the NFL that could have taken Brock Purdy as a 7th-round pick and had him become the starting quarterback for a team?
Andy Reid and McVay. I believe guys like that Kyle's in that group. And to piggyback off that, I do believe, guys, if Mac Jones was drafted and Kyle was his coach from the outset, his career would be totally different. I believe that.
Yeah, I don't.
And that's why I believe they're going to have success Sunday.
Yeah, I don't think Mac Jones is in Purdy's league. I just don't. And I'll admit, and somebody on the YouTube chat put it out there, and he or she's right when they're like, "Come on, people, how many start to finish games in the NFL have we really seen Mac Jones play?" And he's right. I mean, But what I'm getting at is Brock Purdy's better than Mac Jones, and I think Brock Purdy right now, whether he could have gotten to this point with or without Shanahan, I don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Right now,
he's better, Steiny. Come on.
No. But right now, he's not like he could. I think he could go to any team and succeed. He's not dependent on Kyle Shanahan for his success. I think he's.
But will you give me this? Coaching matters.
Again, of course it matters. What I'm saying is, I believe Brock Purdy would be the starting quarterback on on every other NFL team where you believe he's a better quarterback.
So are you saying any situation, if a team had a porous offensive line, he still would be able to?
Especially if they have a porous offensive line. But yeah, let me just do this real quick. Teams.
Well, and man.
Okay, he's not going to start in Buffalo. He'll start in Miami. He'll start in New England. He'll start for the Jets. Cowboys, maybe a toss-up. He'd start for the Giants. Eagles, probably not. Commanders, probably not. Ravens, probably not. Bengals, probably not. He would for the Browns. I think he would for the Steelers.
He's a top 10.
Yeah, exactly. But what I'm saying is I think he's that way without Kyle Shanahan as a coach. I think he could just walk onto the Raiders right now. Well, Raiders are a little different because they have Geno Smith. Whatever. If he walked onto the Panthers right now, he'd be their starting quarterback. Yeah. I guess what I'm saying is right now, I like Kyle Shanahan. I think he's a great coach. He's been great for Brock Purdy's career, but I think Purdy can fly on his own if he were to need to now. He's not going to have to, but
yeah, and he earned his bag, and he's been in the Super Bowl and took the team to multiple NFC championship visits. And the first one was incredible because he did it on the fly when nobody even thought he was going to be a part or play a major part in the Niners' success, and now he's their next franchise quarterback.
Let's go to Joe in San Jose. Hey, Joe, how you doing?
Hey, what's going on, gentlemen?
Hey.
Here's how I look at it. How I look at it. These new kids that are getting drafted, they need to be spoon-fed football, NFL football. But hear me out. Now, there's some that just take the sandwich out of the dad's hand and just starts eating and takes off. There's some that need to be spoon-fed. Purdy was a kid that was but you said it right. You said it right, Steiny, that Purdy is smart.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to feed him constantly. You feed him, he likes what he sees, whatever, and he goes and does it. There's some of these guys, like the kid from Indianapolis that just fell apart. That kid, he didn't like the peas, so he kept spitting it out, and that's why he's not playing. But Purdy is on his way. Yeah, Purdy could play. Yeah, I'd go with 20 teams, easy.
Yeah, thanks, Joe. Go ahead, no.
Give him